I just know I want it more than anybody else. Yeah. I fucking want it. If you're gonna be my competitor, are you fucking ready to risk your fucking life? I'll die. And I love the thrill of the fucking game of the competition.
What keeps you so driven when all the cars, the house, the yacht, all the rest of it, you've already got it?
I'll break it down into this.
Emil Juresic, the man, the myth, the legend, the $100 million+ man. You've developed over 300 mil real estate projects. Last year, NGU did over $3 billion in sales. And you're the most amped up motherfucker that I know has got.
I know I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I'm just a worker who can and is willing to outwork any motherfucker out there. I'm just a fucking worker.
How have you found the transition between doing that yourself
and getting others? I was very good at finding young guys just hungry as a motherfucker.
What does Emil Juresic do these days with a hard day, when things pop up, dark day?
Very simple.
What's the most consistent character trait you've seen in the top 1% of performers?
We all can handle.
Emil Juresic, the man, the myth, the legend. Mate, welcome to the Top 1% podcast. Absolute pleasure having you here.
You know what? I have to say, it's a pleasure being here. I know you, but I don't know you. You know, on social media, you see people who's like, man, I like what they're doing, you know, and we both obviously love cars. So
yes.
It's like another thing in common. And but it's great having you here as well. So it's good to be here.
It's an absolute pleasure. You've just walked me through your if you don't mind me saying, the $25 million bloody mansion. Mate, you got over $2 million worth of car behind you with an Aventador and an STO, plus others in the garage. Mate, it's been honestly unreal just even walking through this house with you and showing me, you know, what you've got, mate. You're an absolute gentleman.
I tell you what, you talking about my home, I got goosebumps. not because it's $25 million home or the fucking cars or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking grateful because I have done this alone. What I mean alone, there was no, okay, son, there you go, $20 million, build yourself a house. You know, so when I show people my home, I don't show you my home to show off, you know, I got amazing freaking home or whatever. I show my home because one, I am proud, and so I show it with lots of love, pride, because, you know, it's been a fucking hell of a journey.
It's been a journey, man.
It's been, you know yourself, like people must see you, hey champ, nice Lamborghini there. You know what I see when I see your Lamborghini? I was like, man, that guy pissed blood to own that car.
100%.
You know, it wasn't like, oh yeah, everything that I see with somebody driving a car like yours, I was like, man, for you to own that car, not to mention you have another car, Ferrari, for you to have one or two cars, I was like, if that guy tells me, hey, it was easy for me to own it, I would say you full of shit.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not, man. So I was, you know, so.
Man, I can tell it as well. I really appreciate you saying that as well, man. And I think it's really interesting, like walking around the house with you and talking, because I can just tell how proud you are. You know what I mean? You're not walking around bragging. You know, there's a difference between ego and pride.
I'm grateful, man.
Man, and I can tell it, you know, and it's awesome, man, to see like how humble you are, even though you're worth what you're worth. You know what I mean? And mate, even just to run through your rap sheet, you know, if anyone who doesn't know you, which isn't many people,
let me see if you make me sound good,
mate. I don't know how many people sound better than what I'm about to read out right now.
No.
$100+ million man, right? And that was a couple of years ago. So,
look, to be honest, I tell you something interesting. Okay. You know, you can say $100+ million man, but all my life, I had no idea if it was blue sky, red sky, daytime, nighttime, Saturday, Sunday, or if I had money. I only realized that I'm financially okay maybe a year ago, because still 12 months ago, all I fucking did, am I allowed to swear here?
Yeah, of course.
All I ever, otherwise you're going to have a lot of beeps.
Yeah, me too, with me as well.
All I ever did is just work, man.
Yeah.
I 7 days a week since I've been 15 years old, and I'm 45 now, till about 12 months ago, I actually didn't realize I haven't worth $1. You know, what I mean, I didn't realize I was just working.
Yeah.
I was just working, so I would wake up in the morning, crazy hours. I'll be in my office not later than 6, and I'll work till I pass the fuck out at 10 o'clock at nighttime. So if you ask me, Emil, how much you're worth, I was like, I don't think I have $5 in my bank account because I just work. And also, so it hit me when we reshuffled our business and we exited out of some companies, but probably more than 12 months ago, just a little bit more than 12 months ago, I lift my head up. I was like, okay, it's Monday today. And, it's a daytime. It's a blue sky.
This was after an exit.
No, it was after. We did 2 exits, and we are in the middle of another exit.
Okay.
That literally was finalized today. But it was just the way, the thing to me is not the exit, is I worked all my life like a rugby player. And rugby player, he's on the field, doesn't know where the fuck he's going. Left, right, pass the ball, grab the ball. He just run, and he got no time to breathe, to stop. You're just running, that you're being attacked, you're fucking attacking. And till about 18 months ago, I became coach of my own team. So, okay, I'm not a rugby player anymore. I need to sit on the sideline and look at my team. And I can see now, okay, great. Now it's time to work really more on the business. Before I was doing everything. But now I can see, okay, you're a good player, stay there. You shit one, get the fuck out, or put somebody else in, or you're wrong position, or, what I mean? So till about 18 months ago, then when I lifted my head up, I was like, I can buy anything. I can afford not anything. I can't buy a fucking $2 billion yacht like some Russians do, right? But, I can buy any car, I can buy any home, I can live anywhere I want.
Within the realistic reason.
Within realistic, I can't buy, being honest, I can't afford a $500 million yacht.
There's a different level, right?
Talk of levels. Simon Bede, his partner, wife, Tani, Giselle and I, we went to Croatia last year. We chartered a yacht.
Yeah.
30-meter yacht, 4 or 5 staff, beautiful, right? And the yacht was maybe $20 million. We woke up the next morning, there's a yacht parked close to us worth about $60 million. I was like, that's a
levels, yeah? There's levels.
2 days later, yacht next to us, $300 million yacht. I looked at it, I was like, I think I'm doing well. I can't afford that. Simon looked at me, he said, we need to go back to work. I was like, yep, so shut the fuck up, go back to work. So there's always, but within what makes, what I love cars. Like I can go and buy any car,
of course.
Within reason, of course. But I then realized that, but I'm financially okay.
Yeah.
I'm financially okay. And so yeah, that's just going back to that money. Like I had no idea if I'm worth $2 or $2 million, or 200 or whatever, because, when you're in trenches, you don't count how many enemy soldiers you fucking kill.
Yeah. You're just killing them.
You just fucking shoot. And I
love it, man. I love the analogies.
I feel like fucking I've been in trenches all my life, man.
That's good. Well, mate, I think you're doing all right in this beautiful house.
I'm doing okay. You know what? Maybe it's the age that I'm turning into. I'm just fucking grateful, man. But business-wise, anything you're gonna read here, the way I see it, I'm just warming up.
Can I ask you one thing? And that's actually another thing that is a great point, right? Because you're looking at the 60 mil and the 300 mil yacht and all the rest of it. But mate, you're 45.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're talking 100 plus. Like you don't. It doesn't sound like you're not even worrying about it. You know what I mean? So maybe you can afford it. You just don't even know.
Well, I am shopping for a yacht. Okay. Just not $100 million one. It'll be more like fucking 18 to 20 million bucks. Like fucking 100. Like bit of a stretch.
And this is the thing, bro, right? And you look at the trajectory that I've watched you on, even on the last couple of years as well, from what you were developing 3, 4, 5 years ago compared to what you're developing now. And even with the office and everything as well, man. If we look at levels and the trajectory you've been on the last 5 years, where are you going to be in 5, 10, 20 years as well? Because and this is another question I want to ask you, but mate, you're still working like a dog, you know what I mean? You're still as driven as I've ever seen you. So it's like, it's not going to be just because you buy the $18, $20 million yacht. It's the same as the $25 million house and the, multi-million dollars of the car sitting behind you there. You're not going to stop. So I think it's a funny thing because the levels come quicker than you think. You know what I mean? Which you would know that better
look,
than most.
You know that old saying, the hardest thing to do is make $1 million. After that, it's easier. I was like, no shit, it's easier because to make first $1 million, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Let's look at yourself. When you were making your first $1 million, we don't know anything, man. We're like a baby that wants to run, but doesn't know how to fucking, he crawls first, then would hit baby's head in every freaking corner before he starts walking and running, right? And that's business. So making that $1 million, I call that first $1 million. I actually call first $10 million university degree. University degree, you go 4 or 5 years to uni.
Yeah.
You're paying to go to uni. So you're not even making money, just fucking paying for your knowledge.
Takes that.
And 4 or 5 years, you're going 4 or 5 years to get a fucking job when you get out of the uni. And in business, your 4 or 5 years, first 4 or 5 years is that pain of learning, screwing shit up, making mistakes all the time, making dollar, losing two, so it's that knowledge. And as soon as you get to that $1, $5 or $10 million, you already know what to do. And you get to perfect your craft. Simon Bede and myself spoke to a group of people today about goal setting.
Yeah.
I said, what I always do when I want to set goals up for next 12 months, I also just look at myself. Last year, 12 months ago, I set goals for 12 months ahead of me. What haven't I done? Which goals I haven't achieved and why? So I can perfect it.
Yeah.
So that money, making first $1 million or $5 million, you just fucking learn as much. And what can you do better? What can you do better? What can you do? It's like going into boxing ring.
Yeah.
If you go against the same fighter and each time he knocks you out with the fucking left uppercut, well, change something about it, because you're just going to keep doing the same thing. You're going to fall on the ground every time. So with me, man, it's just, I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge for that mastering that craft so you get fucking better. Yeah. So, and faster, first 1, 2, 5, 10, you just know the craft.
And then you just multiply it because you learn it so well.
But
and then you can multiply
now we are walking to danger.
Walking to danger.
We are walking to danger with technology.
Yeah.
I mean, look at fucking what AI is doing at the moment. I said to other day, I actually didn't do a story on this on Instagram, but I wanted to. I wanted to say to anybody that's working for anybody, if you don't fucking upskill right now, tomorrow you might not have a job. You got to upskill. And us as a business owners, we gotta fucking upskill or employ somebody that's smarter than us, that's more faster at learning than we are. Because think about this. Last year, I would have, anywhere between 2 to 4 assistants.
Yep.
Right now, I have one. It's fucking AI.
Really? You dropped 4 assistants for
0.
AI? Really?
0. Because right now, the way the technology is right now, it's few things. One, you can literally what's out right this second, and it's only going to get better. I can say to my fucking AI assistant, can you book me a restaurant? Can you book me a lunch at Hellenica 2 p.m. on Saturday? And it's going to be 4 of us. He'll book it for me. And I can say, you know what? I want to eat pasta marinara on Monday afternoon. Can you order me everything that I need from pasta marinara from Coles? We'll order it for me, pay for it, and gets delivered in front of my house. Like, only thing that he can't do is give you a fucking blowjob. Like, fuck, you know what I mean? Yet,
maybe.
Right?
Who knows what's going to rock up on the door after the Coles order?
He'll be a robot. You know what I mean? That's doing it. It's like, fuck. But the thing is like, it's just insane, man. It's insane, the task, the goals, and everything. So now we're just scratching the fucking surface, which means us as a business owners, we need to be on a fucking A game. Because a lot of us are still relying on physical stuff. So if I am employing people, let's say, I don't know, I'm in the recruitment, and I need to employ 10 people, and you, who is a faster at adopting to technology out there, you only need 2 people to do the job of my 10 because you're using AI.
Yeah.
what that means automatically, you are more competitive in the market than I am, because you can go and fucking slash your prices by 20% and be more competitive in the marketplace than I am.
And still make more money.
And still make more money because you cut all the labor, right? So you can try to be more competitive. That means me, who's been in business for 80 fucking years, started my business in 1940, can be out of the business tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think right now is the best time to be in a business, but most dangerous time if you don't stay relevant.
Are you worried about it with real estate though? With sales?
Look, to be honest, I always say, I love these times because my life is fun because I test myself every day and I'm on the edge. Like this fucking glass of water right now.
That's you.
And that's business today. Like, look at this. 1 fucking millimeter this way is gone. Yeah. And in business, people say, fucking, I hate this competitor. He's this, he's that. I was like, man, I love a good competitor.
Bro, I'm exactly the same.
Because the thing is, advice would be boring.
They're pushing you.
They're pushing me. And
you can never be your best if you're not competing against someone else.
Also, what competitors do to you and me, they fucking keep us on our toes.
100%.
We can't become complacent. Because in both of our businesses, there's another fucking hungry guy like you, maybe a little bit more hungry, wants your spot. He wants you think you're doing well. There's another younger, hungrier version of you and me who wants to have what we have. And he's just digging how he's going to cut your legs and my legs to have your spot and me. And for us to be riding a fucking bicycle with no seat on it, just that fucking still thing, and him having a Lambos. So that's the fact. So AI, competitors, I always say, we also, all of us are capable to the certain point. Some people are more talented than both of us, you know. So that's just like, some people are natural talent at whatever. And the way I see it, if I know that my cap is here, I was like, you know how sometimes you say, that's above my pay grade? Well, I will fucking employ somebody who can think on my behalf, who's a fast learner, fast adapter, so I'm going to benefit as a business owner on the end. So going back on real estate, am I worried about it? No. Am I on the edge? Yes. Because that keeps me like, okay, what the fuck do we need to do? Because are people even going to have real estate agents? Is there going to be AI person that negotiates on everybody's behalf and everybody's fired within 3 years? Maybe. What I think was always, and it is today, let's keep learning and keep being ahead with times. Whatever fucking change does come tomorrow, which we don't know what it is going to be. I mean, did you fucking know what AI was 4 years ago? I had no idea, right? So 2 years ago, really, or 6 months ago. But now with us, we just try to be on that edge to make sure we try to adapt first. I mean, look at this. I'm investing a heavy at the moment in stock market. And, this new AI app that came out 24 hours ago. I'll tell you what is it called. DeepSeek. DeepSeek. Yes. So what happened? You got, ChatGPT, you got so many AI versions out there, including NVIDIA. Yeah. All of those guys have raised 50 billion, 100 billion, 200 billion. NVIDIA valued at $3 trillion. 3 years ago was valued at fuck all. Nobody even knew what NVIDIA was, Now worth $3 trillion. 24 hours ago, new kids on the block. And now NVIDIA probably spent 200 billion. I'm talking numbers out of my ass. It's up there, $300 billion and raised, and is worth $3 trillion. Like fucked up. Crazy. Raised billions, and Mark Zuckerberg is, just this year he's investing 65 billion in Meta AI. These Chinese guys spent 5 million. And last 24 hours, the AI version is number one on a freaking Apple app list. Most downloaded in the world. Wow. And these guys spent few hundred billion. These guys spent 5 fucking million. And these guys are number one. What happened to NVIDIA AI They lost $600 billion
Saw that.
in 3 hours.
Crazy.
On the valuation, 20%, $600 billion.
Yeah.
You know, and an American stock market lost $3 trillion in a matter of a couple of hours because bunch of fucking kids from China came up with another app that's better, cost way less,
So
and
this is your analogy of the younger, hungrier, better version of us is maybe coming up. So that's why we've always got to live on the edge.
Now, my job as a business owner is to protect everything. I'm 45.
Yeah.
I've been working like a fucking dog for 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years. Not 5, 30. My job is to protect. You want to come fucking on my territory, you better get ready for a war because I'm there to fucking cut your head off as a competitor. In a good way, right?
Yeah.
But then again, man, these kids. So what do you think all the NVIDIA guys and ChatGPT and Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, what do you think they're doing? Oh, these motherfuckers will be on the edge, asking questions. Am I worried about anything? We're going to be tested. Fucking next 5 years, 2 of us would be like on the edge.
Can I ask you something? I was going to ask you this further in, but it comes to me right now because like I can tell that literally straight on from the start of this conversation that you always feel passionate about it. You know what I mean? There's so much drive, passion, energy always there with it. What keeps you so driven when, again, all the cars, the house, the yacht, all the rest of it, you've already got it all, right? I've got my version of this answer as well because I'm still going hard. I love it, right?
I'll break it down. I'll break it down into this. How old are you?
34.
I am 45.
Okay.
If I get to live till 90, and if you get to live to 70, I am definitely halfway through my life.
Yeah.
There's a fucking good chance you're not far off either. If you get to live till almost 70 years old. Today is the day that I never lived before. When this day is over, I'm not going to live this day again. I'm one day fucking closer to my ultimate destination, which is fucking death. So while I'm alive, I need to be passionate. I need to love my life, love people around me, and not waste time. Like for you to say, hey, Emil, let's do a podcast. I was like, man, if I'm not going to enjoy your company, get the fuck out. What the fuck would I spend 1 hour with somebody I don't like? Why would you spend it with me? Because and so to me, I love life. That's one part. And I know how short the life is. And I really try to milk every day. And the second part is this. Looking back, what I have tracked at 600 years of my family surname, family tree, 600 years.
Yeah.
Looking back 600 years or studying 600 years of my Juresics, all fucking poor, all struggling. And they're saying in every generation, in every family tree, there's going to be one fucking person that's going to change direction of that family for generations. I mean, I'm dead. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen, whatever. But while I'm here, man, I can change so many lives. 2 of my uncles passed away 3 years ago. Rest of the family poor. They can't even freaking bury them. I paid for 2 funerals. I don't know, 50, 60 grand. I can do that. Family that are struggling, I can help. People that are in need, I can help. I can, I wanted to be in position where I can donate money or raise money. Just for Christmas, we did a charity drive, $120,000 between my mates. And they're like,
awesome, man.
I can do stuff. So with me is like, I can do so many things. And I also find joy in doing that. So I love life, man. Am I going to be always in business? Well, I'm passionate about it. Yes. The day that I'm not passionate, you know how professional boxers, they hang their boxing gloves? That will never be me because I want to work till I'm dead because it's healthy to be active. Like I never exercised, never went to gym or anything till about 6 weeks ago. And alas.
Really?
Never.
Really?
I'll start 2 days and fucking.
How aren't you a fat bastard?
But I don't know. It's fucking probably family. But last 6 weeks, 5 days a week, personal trainer, 6 to 7. Then I have a recovery session for 45 minutes. Then every afternoon, 1 hour run, average about 5 to 8 kilometers every afternoon. Then again, recovery session. So now, I'm paying attention to myself and how I can live longer and healthier.
Yeah. So you stay driven because you just...
I love life.
So you love life. You're just always pushing. Always pushing.
I love. And I get excited small things. Like before, two of us, like two fucking retarded, crazy fucks. We were getting excited about my exhaust of the car.
The smiles we had on our faces were crazy.
Any normal person would be like, yeah, look at these two lunatics. They're like, oh my God, like every time, like I'll take my little nephew for a drive. Two of us like fucking so excited like little kids. I think because I know the meaning of life, how short it is. I mean, look at this. 4 weeks ago, I went to a funeral. One of my closest friends, Donny Gambaro, they own a lot of amazing restaurants in Queensland, about 6-7 of them. His wife, Jessica, passed away at age 45 from cancer. They have everything, amazing life, 4 amazing kids, amazing businesses, all the money in the world. Age 45, gone. Husband and 4 kids left behind. My brother's good friend, I'm not sure if you heard of this big car accident on 2 days ago. I take it back. On Monday, there was a big car accident in Brisbane. 37-year-old guy and his 4-year-old son. It was all over the news.
Yeah.
Guy was driving the car in the morning, 9 o'clock with his 4-year-old son. Car, I think he crossed the road. Anyway, direct accident, died. 37. Amazing builder, respected builder in Brisbane. He's got 3 kids and him and his 4-year-old son died.
Crazy.
It's like, man, the bullet that's going to kill 2 of us has already been fired. When we're going to die, could be a year, could be 20, could be 50. Who fucking knows? So with me, I just want to live.
Just live to the max.
Well, live to the point that I keep walking happy.
Yeah.
And knowing I'm not an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, mate, I love that. I think even like to give the listeners a bit of insight as well, mate, I literally hit you up. I replied to one of your stories yesterday. I can't remember what we were talking about. I was saying, you made 600 grand in 8 hours or something. I go, mate, you're a fucking beast. I go, when are you free for a podcast, mate? And you said, as long as you have that tomorrow. And I was like, are you this guy kidding or what?
But
man,
the thing is,
you know what I mean?
like a lot of people's like, oh, you know what? They like plans, with me, I've organized my life that advantage running your own race, your own business, after so many sacrifices in your life, you can get to the point where you can do what you want, when you want, how you want it.
Yeah.
You can move things around. Yeah. And like right now, I work always a lot, but 80% of my time I work from my home.
You're passionate about your work, man. I think if you're passionate about your work, you know what I mean? Like if it's what drives you and you love it and it gives you passion and energy.
But now I'm doing I love learning. Like whole fucking morning, I spend probably 6 hours learning about one stock. I'm trying to buy. I wanted to buy this morning $1 million out of one specific stock.
This is the AI one.
No.
Oh, new one. Okay.
It's an Australian company.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you about it over the microphone here.
Okay, all right.
But I bought good amount yesterday and went up 13%. And so I've been studying this company because, value of this company in the stock market, the cap is 340 million, but the land that this company is sitting on is worth fucking 1.5 billion.
Yeah, right.
And I was like just studying it, I was like, fuck, then I was talking to Giselle. I was like, I'm going to fucking put $1 million in this. And she said, do you realize what you just said? I said, what? She said, you just said, I'm just going to put $1 million just like this. And I yesterday put a large amount, $1 million. And I said, what's interesting, Giselle, because about 15 years ago, we lost everything in business, everything. And I was on a petrol station, put $18 worth of petrol in my car, 18, not 80, $18. And I couldn't pay for it. And I called Giselle and I said, can you transfer me $18 to my bank account? She said, love, I don't have it. And this morning I was like, I just put $1 million. I was like, I'm fucking grateful. I'm grateful. So I love learning.
I love that, man. Honestly, dude, it's a fucking inspiring thing. There's so much I want to unpack in here with you. Can I finish your rap sheet?
I'm free till I fell asleep. It's about 10 o'clock tonight. It's fucking go.
I love it, man. Let's go. Man, to finish the rap sheet, which we started before, the $100 million+ man, you've developed over 300 mil in real estate projects. last year, NGU, your company, did $3 billion in sales. Over $3 billion in sales. You own not one, I'm looking at them right now, but 2 Lamborghinis.
Yes.
Plus the Bentley, plus others, all the rest of it. And you're the most amped up motherfucker that I know as well, man. So I love it.
Man. I got issues.
Man, I just love it. Is there anything I've got wrong there, or that's all good?
Look, to be honest, when people talk about me, I always say I'm just a fucking worker, man. I know I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I'm just a worker who can and is willing to outwork any motherfucker out there. I'm just a fucking worker. I'm not the smartest man, most calculated man. I believe in old school work. I was with Ian Malouf. I'm not sure if you heard of him. He's a billionaire who started company skip bins. You know, on a construction site, how you order those skip bins. So he had one of the largest companies in Australia and he sold it and it's worth about $1.5 billion. And 2 weeks ago, he invited Giselle and I to go to Sydney and spend 2 days with him. And we stayed on his $50 million fucking 54-meter super yacht. And he knows I'm shopping for a yacht, so he was educating me.
54 meters.
Yes. He's got.
It's a monster.
That's a $50 million yacht. But he also owns another yacht that is 75 meters and is worth $150 million in Bahamas. And so spending time with him, and I said, Ian, let me just record a video so I can chuck it on my Instagram. And he said, okay, ask anything. And I'm filming the 54-meter yacht, $50 million. Like, we stayed on it. It's 14 staff. You feel amazing, right? Amazing food and drinks and everything. And I asked him a question. Can you tell my audience, what does it take to own the fucking yacht? Simple. Work hard. And when you're working hard, work harder. That's it.
That's it.
You know, man, because you can be smartest man and lazy fuck, they won't go. You can be hard worker and smart and you can't handle pressure, it will not work. So in business, we need every puzzle around us. And the one that can handle the most pressure is the one that's going to go fucking furthest.
Mate, I love it. I love it. And I think the funny thing, you've probably seen this as well, but so many people when they come up in the game, and real estate is very much this case of people not necessarily out of university, but more like hard workers, gift of the gab, they can talk, all the rest of the sort of thing. But so often they fall short where that real hard work needs to come in, or they sit at this plateaued level that's like, let's say it's 250, half a mil, whatever it is. And then there's a different level that you go to when you're like a 750, a mil, right? GCI writing agent, or then you just to go start the business and then you start, building a team around it as well. And I think, man, it's so crazy watching other people do it. And I've obviously gone through the journey myself as well, but watching yourself, and we're having this conversation before around, like, I started following you like 3-4 years ago, something like that as well, man. And
I was like, mad person.
Right? Do you know when I followed you? Because my partner, Morgan, she follows you, right? And she followed you back then. And one of my other clients who's a broker, he followed you. Yes. They're all telling me about you. And I go, what does NGU stand for?
Yes.
And they told me, I said, never give up. I go, fuck off, I'm following this guy. You know what I mean? Like, how's that for an acronym? Like, everyone else, it's their initials, or it's this or it's that. Literally the initials, and never give up, man. Like, fuck, this is my guy. You know what I mean? So that's what I said to you before. I've followed you for a long time, man. I've admired you from afar, and little messages on when you get the cars and stuff here and there, man. But honestly, mate, your journey's been crazy.
And that's what life is all about, man. It's a journey, because it's not easy. Anybody that's running their own race, running their own business, when you look at it from the outside, I was like, oh man, there's a guy just parked a fucking black Lambo with red stripe. That's hot. Like, with me, I just see, man, there's to sacrifice, sleepless nights, like fucking tears. It's not easy, because when we want to create our own life, we have no idea how hard it's going to be. Like, would you ask every business owner out there, would you have ever started your business if you really knew how hard it was? Most of us would be like, fuck that. I don't want to fucking, not sleep, because when you want to start your own business, man, all of us excited, enthusiasm is up there, the energy is there. Then you start your business like, fuck, man, I don't have money to pay myself.
And the fires come and the issues and all the rest of the stuff. Man, I think this is one of the biggest things about this podcast as well, right? It's obviously top 1% podcast, man. It's putting into perspective and realities of what it takes to get to $100 million plus levels, and even people who've achieved different things in different fields and all the rest of it. Man, I think it's the fact that it isn't sunshine and fucking rainbows and lollipops and all the rest of the bullshit. It's hard, man. You know what I mean? And like, I think this is the 5th or 6th recording I've done so far of this podcast specifically. And man, I really wanted to
and it never gets easier. Never gets easier for any of the people you interviewed.
Yeah.
We just handle things better.
You learn to build on it, right? You learn how to solve the problems.
We just learn how to handle shit better because, you know, when your first 6 months in a business, like problems you were having then to you, or problems I was having in my first 6 months, like, fucking, this is a big problem. And how do I solve it? Now, when you think back, it was like, you were stressing about that shit?
It's crazy, yeah.
That's like, what the fuck are you stressing about? You know, that's nothing. You know what I mean? So we just handle, because bigger the business, more responsibilities, more decision making, we just handle things better.
Things like that become second nature, right? Like what was six months into the business, now it's like, man, a second nature in terms of how to deal with it.
We handle more pressure, you know. And I always say, you know, more you get punched in your fucking face, you just handle pain. You just handle pain.
Threshold builds.
It's like, you know, I remember first day I trained with my personal trainer. I couldn't walk for fucking 4 days. I was like, I feel like I got a fucking dick up my ass. I can't walk, I can't sit, I can't stand, I can't walk. This is just fucked.
Are you speaking from experience here? You left it for me, mate. It was there.
Hey, I got nothing against fucking people having dicks up their asses if they want. But you know what? The thing is, like, man, I am just like fucking in pain from every angle. I can't walk. And then the next day, we were doing arm and back. I couldn't brush my teeth. I can't lift my hand. You know, it's like pain. I just couldn't. Yeah. Now I do the same exercises and I feel fantastic.
You're good. Yeah.
You get trained, man. And in business, what's the difference? You just handle things better and you get used to it and it becomes, like you said, it's second nature.
It's all levels, man. Everything in life. Tell me everything in life isn't just levels.
And you know what I say to my two things. Yeah. To my friends, like, you know, you stressing about having 20 employees, like, and you want to be rich as fucking Bill Gates, motherfucker's got probably 50,000 employees. So if you can't manage 20, you're not ready for the next step. Just stay in your own fucking lane. One thing I will say to any business owner, never complain because you chose your fucking life. Nobody put a gun to your head to say, you got to be in real estate and property development. You got to be a property investor. Nobody put a gun to your head. You chose your life. You chose it. Go bad time, so fucking what? This is not a sprint of 100 meters. It's a fucking 30, 40, 50 year marathon. Get ready to be punched in your face. Just learn how to enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm with you, man.
Enjoy the fucking pain. You know what I mean?
Embrace the pain, man.
Embrace it because there's going to be fucking lot of it.
Man, I want to dial all the way back to the start. I've heard your story multiple different ways, all the rest of it. But man, I'd love to hear it direct from you. A lot of people probably haven't heard the story as well, man. I'm hoping we're in their ears right now. Man, you come from a war-torn country.
Well,
if you could give me the background,
no.
Crazy story.
I always start, saying I had most amazing parents, and I can truly say the same thing today. I had amazing mom. She was stay-home mom. Dad was a worker. He's now 70, turning 71. He will still outwork you, who is 34. If you were to do physical work, he'll fucking kick your ass. And mine together, right? Just a bulldog hard worker. Yeah. All his life, till we started doing well, he worked for other people. So grew up relatively fucking poor, very poor. And when I was growing up, it was a communist country called ex-Yugoslavia, or Yugoslavia, nice ex. And so we were poor. So age 4, like every other kid, age 4, 5, you want to own your own bicycle, you know what I mean? And other kids that had mom and dad that were working, that would be able to afford it. So I couldn't afford it. So I came up with this business idea. and business idea was washing other fucking kids' bikes for, I don't know, maybe 50 cents or whatever. So I can save maybe 50, 60 bucks.
This is in Yugoslavia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I would be washing other kids' bikes, and the next thing is I saved enough money to buy a bike. Really good one, better than most other kids, And then, age 10.
Hang on, sorry, how old were you?
4.
4, you're washing.
Yes.
So you're an entrepreneur at 4, buddy.
4 fucking years old. 4 years old. And I always say I started working at 3. And Dad says, what do you mean? I said, I remember when you were building the house, I was carrying the bricks, So Dad was making us work. Not work, just learning the little work ethics, as a kid.
Yeah.
And also that washing kids' bicycles was just a little bit so I can save enough money to buy my own.
Yeah.
Or I'll give to my parents and say, buy me a bicycle. And then civil war started in Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia, when I was age 11. Imagine having a normal life, and the next thing is you got no electricity, no clean water, and for you to have water for drinking and having shower, you have to walk 5 kilometers and carry buckets of water while the bombs are flying, and we were surrounded by enemies. So the life just became not normal.
You were 11 at that
11.
time.
And at age 11, we were surrounded by enemies, and a lot of family members died, over 50 of them. And it was terrible. Dad was in a war fighting. He was a good soldier, very good soldier. And I was home with my younger brother, 4 years younger, and my mom. And only way you can fucking survive, you can eat, if you buy shit on black market. Black market would be these wheelers and dealers that are sending kilo of bread or some fucking can of meat or whatever between the buildings, And I thought to myself, before family has got no money to buy it, and like if you don't figure out the way of eating, you fucking starve. So before war started,
was your dad getting paid as a soldier or
no? It's like it's just fucking fighting so enemies don't come into your fucking city and kill your kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like professional army like here. It's just fighting to survive.
That's crazy.
Before war started, pack of cigarettes with 20 cigarettes in it was $1. But when war started, we were surrounded. You couldn't buy cigarettes. So you couldn't come there. Pack of cigarettes was like $50. And that's on the black market. There's some fucking guy selling it in between buildings, right? I figured out the way how I can buy cigarettes from United Nations because of our peacekeepers there, right?
Yeah.
So I would go to them, couldn't speak a fucking word of English, like use my hands. And I would buy a pack of cigarettes for like $10.
Yeah.
20 cigarettes in it. And I knew that most people can't afford a pack of cigarettes for $50, but I was like, I'm going to sell each individual fucking cigarette for like $2.
Yeah.
So I would be there between, and if you're a fucking smoker, like you like being a fucking drug addict, you want to have that fucking hit, and smokers want to have a cigarette, right? And I would sell each cigarette. I would be in between corners, 11 years old, like fucking 30 kilos, 11 years old.
But there's bombs and shit going off.
Bombs and shit, going off. But people get out and soldiers, and every week I'm Croatian, and the older Croatian soldiers, they would come and they would steal my cigarettes. I was like, motherfuckers. And I know they would threaten me like, if you don't give us cigarettes, we're going to kill you. Then I learned how to negotiate with other side. And I would tell one soldier, I was like, okay, I'm going to give you a pack of cigarettes every fucking 4 days. I need you not to come and threaten me anymore. And I need you to make sure that all of your other fucking friends don't come here and steal my cigarettes. So that way you're getting cigarettes. So I was like managing my fucking risk. Okay, I buy 5 cigarettes. I'm going to lose fucking 1 cigarette there. Do you know what I mean? So I was learning how to, okay, now I'm still going to make
a bodyguard with cigarettes.
Yeah, I'm still going to make $50 so I can buy flour. I can buy, so mom can make the bread and we can eat and the same. And then at age 12, I did something. I said, I fucking listen to this. Because there was no electricity for 4 years.
Yeah.
So you can't see at nighttime. And In the city where we were sitting, there was a factory that made wax. You know, to make candles, you need fucking wax.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad's mate, he was soldier protecting this factory. So I convinced him to fucking get me wax from this factory so I can learn how to make candles.
Yeah.
And there were other people doing it as well. So in between buildings, like underground where the garages are, there was like a little market. There would be like 20, 30 people with little stools that would be all selling shit. And few people were selling candles. And that's the only way you can see at nighttime is buy fucking candles because we had no electricity for 4 years. So I figured out how to make candles, and then I went there with a little table, like on this little market selling candles. Everybody else was selling candles for $6. I would be like, I'll sell you 10 candles for $40 as an example. And then when it was minus fucking 20, snow in Europe, I was 12 years old, a little boy. Nobody would be selling candles. I would be fucking dead. I wouldn't feel my toes, man. They would be fucking frozen. If you touch them, it would fall off. I would be frozen. I would be there selling them. And then I came up with Uber Eats. I'm the motherfucker that invented Uber Eats exactly 32 years ago. What I mean by then is,
little town
in this little town, people would come to me, and every time somebody comes to the market, they would come and talk to me about buying 5-6 candles, and they would come and talk to you who's selling the candles and guy 8 meters. And I would say to them, guys, I know you come here every 2 weeks to buy candles. I'm going to do you a deal. How about I come to your house every 2 weeks? So that way you're not risking your life, because I know you're walking about kilometer to get to these little markets. Sniper can hit you. Bomb can hit you. How about I fucking deliver it? So that's why I always say I fucking invented Uber Eats, before Uber Eats.
With candles.
With fucking candles 32 years ago. These motherfuckers, they just made billions and I didn't. So the reason why I did that, because I was like, I'm eliminating competition.
Yeah.
Because the second these guys walk on the market, they see 10 people like me selling candles. Like this, I just come to your house every 2 weeks.
Done.
You don't even come there. I fucking control the market.
I'm
controlling the fucking market.
I love that. You were 12. You were
12 years old. 12 years old. And that's how everything started. And then coming to Australia as a refugee.
If you don't mind me asking you a real quick question here. You said there were snipers and bombs and all the rest of stuff. Did you sorry, it's a very personal question. Did you ever have any close calls?
I can tell you really close calls.
Here we go.
So friend of mine, I hope he actually watches this. His name is Dejan. There was a village close to our city that it was controlled by Croatian army.
Okay.
And in this village, if you can imagine trenches and bunkers, and it's right away 300 meters behind it, there are still Croatian civilians that are living in the home, and soldiers are just in front of the homes protecting it, right?
Yeah.
And one day, somehow, enemy soldiers went behind our Croatian soldiers' back, and they killed all of Croatian soldiers, and all the civilians that stayed there, they either killed them, tortured them, and they burned the houses. Anyway, so these enemy soldiers, they took that village, and about 2 weeks later, Croatians, they were fighting again, and they took it back.
Yeah.
And friend of mine, little friend, and we are age 12 or 13. And he said, Emil, my family home, let's see what happened to it. So there's a fucking us little kids, go there. We went to his house. Dejan Plavčić, his surname was. Still keep in touch with him, which is phenomenal because we were so young and we're so old now. And he said, let's go. And we go to his house. His home is burned completely.
Okay.
Burned to the ground. And then we wanted to, let's clean it up. Let's clean it up around the house. So in one corner, about maybe 5 minutes from the house, there was a wire there. There was just a wire.
Oh, wire.
Wire, just like a long wire. And I wanted to fucking start pulling it. And one Croatian, and I started pulling this wire. I already started pulling it, right? I just thought it's just a wire. And one Croatian soldier saw me, and my friend is right next to me. He started yelling, stop, drop that. I was like, what the fuck? And then 3 meters away from that wire, there was like a big plastic over something big. And there was like literally 200-300 kilos of explosive. Because what a lot of Croatian soldiers were doing in front of in front of their bunkers, they would put maybe 30 meters in front of it. They would put these 200 meters of explosives with nails in it and fucking screws, and they were making the homemade bombs, so
if they got too close, they'd blow them up.
And they had this like 20-meter wire. So if enemies started getting close to them, they can pull the fucking wire, and 200 kilos. This would dig like a fucking 3-meter hole in the ground. would kill people 50 meters away from it.
You're pulling this thing.
I'm pulling it. 3 meters away from it, just started pulling it, and he yelled, if I just did one more pull, I would have been 2,000 pieces. So that's a funny one, because we almost fucking blow ourselves up like crazy. But then, I remember walking from one village to another village with my mom and my little brother, who was at that time 7. And snipers will be just trying to hit us, and you can just see it above your head and stuff. And we'll be on the ground waiting for hours to get dark so they can't see us. Like fucking, But I don't whinge about any of it. I'm grateful. You know what? A lot of young people that are, let's say, 18, they might say, I know what, I'm depressed because my dad was bad to me, was alcoholic. My mom left us, So people use a lot of things to beat themselves up and convince themselves, I will never succeed. I will never have a good life because I blame them, blah, blah.
Yeah.
With me, fuck my past. Makes me better, makes me love my family more, makes me grateful we didn't all fucking die. I'm in a peaceful country where I can have ability to work, to eat, to have you as a guest in my home. Life is fucking good. So, with me, like there's a fucking good and bad. I survived, move on. You can't control your future because you had a fucked up past.
Yeah.
Use it as a fucking fuel. Find a way to make good moving forward.
Use it like a superpower, right? Like if it fires you up, if it's fucked up in the past history,
it's
use it to drive
it's like,
you. Right?
I say to anybody, if you had a bad relationship with a lady or man, and they were assholes to you, you can't judge the next person because of something bad that happened to you. It's not fair on the next person. It's not fair on your fucking future to judge it based off on your fucked up past.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy.
So anyway, then
I was imagining you running around with the candles at night, like running from shadow to shadow.
And then at age 15 and a half, war finished, and dad said, I want to be as far as away from fucking, Europe, where the war started, and we end up in Australia. And then at age 15 and a half, we came here and spent 6 months learning English in an English school. And then I went to grade 10, 11, and 12 here. And while I was going to school, I was cleaning fucking public toilets after school, delivering flyers, whatever it took. So
where did you move to when you came to Australia? Brisbane.
All my life, Brisbane.
Oh, yeah?
Brisbane has been amazing to me. Kind of gave me opportunity to live in a peace, no bombs around your head. It's been great to me when I was starting my work career. It's been great to me when I got burned financially, when I wanted to get up again and keep going, gave me another opportunity. So to me, it's an amazing city that has been great to me. I met, Giselle in Brisbane. I met amazing people. I met you fucking today in Brisbane. So it's the best city to me.
Yeah.
But saying that, looking back now, I'm very blessed that I live in this amazing country.
It's crazy, man. I think especially people who take Australia for granted. I think it's a funny thing, hey, where it's just like,
just fucking go and spend 2 weeks in Cambodia or something. You'll come here and kiss fucking the ground you're walking on.
Man, literally every time I come back to Australia, so I've traveled a fair bit in my life, and man, every time you come back, you're like, fuck, I love Australia. You know what I mean?
Look, I love traveling. I think when you travel, you see new things, meet new people, different cultures. But fuck, man, I love traveling.
Yeah. Man, did you finish high school? So you went 10, 11, 12? You finished high school?
I don't even know what the fuck I finished. I hated school.
Yeah, okay.
Even now when I think about my high school, I still fucking don't like it. It's like, I hated school. But then I somehow finished high school, and after high school, I was working 8 hours cleaning, delivering flyers. Yeah. On Saturdays and Sundays, I would go on construction jobs. I would do work, carry buckets for tilers for $30 a day, $30 more than I didn't have yesterday. So, so I was doing whatever it takes so I can help mom and dad to get on their feet.
Yep.
So they can maybe buy the first house one day. And then when I finished high school, mom and dad were like typical mom and dad. They were saying, go to school, get a good education, go to TAFE for college or uni. And I used to blame them like, why you want me to do that? I hate school. But now I don't blame them anymore because parents, they don't know any better. They can only tell you what they know, right? So I went to TAFE for 7 days. I meant to study business management for 2 years. After 7 days, I said to my teacher, I said to him, this makes no sense. You teaching me how to run a fucking business and you're working for 50 grand a year for somebody else. Fuck this. And he said, Emil, you quit this, you will never be anything. I said, okay, I'll quit. It's the only thing I fucking quit in my life. And I said, okay, I'm 18 now. No education, heart size of Mount Everest. Will to conquer the world.
Yeah.
Knowledge is zero. What the fuck do you know when you're 18 besides pulling your own fucking dick? You got no knowledge. You don't know anything. You got a will to succeed. Heart size of Mount Everest. But what the fuck do you know? What the fuck do you know? You just don't know anything, right? So I was like, okay, I want to be successful. My dad worked for somebody all his life. I want to control my own. I want to work for myself. How can I start making money? Legal way. And I was like, okay, what is one industry that I can learn that I can start getting paid well? I can't be a doctor, lawyer, I don't have a degree or anything like that. Fucking construction, shovel. So I was like, which trade in construction should I learn that pays me good money that I can learn fast? And that was plastering and putting cornices up. I mean, this is square set. You know how you got in cornices, you got those cornices. So I learned the trade as much as I could in 7 days, and I already bought a car, Toyota Corolla from my cleaning job for $6,300. There was another car I wanted to fucking, and somebody says that car was $7,000. And somebody asked me, you were a good negotiator, to get it for $6,300. I was like, not really. I just said no more than $6,300. He's like, oh, good job negotiating, taking $1,000 of the car. I was like, man, I had no fucking choice. That's all the money I had. I was like, take it or leave it.
Sometimes it's a pretty good negotiating tactic.
Like, take it or leave it. I was like, I can't give you any more. I had a little Corolla, and then I started calling people around saying, can you give me a job and let me do it for free? And if I do a good job, pay me. And, so I meet people.
Yourself, you were asking to do the work on their house.
Yeah,
and then if
free.
you did a good job, okay.
Pay me if you think I'm worth anything. Just get me, get a bit of experience. I can, so I can learn as well. And then I started working 7 days a week on construction. From morning, I would leave my house at 3 o'clock. I would get to the job site 3:30, 4 o'clock. I would put the lights on everywhere around the house. I'm working while it's dark. And I would just work till 7, 8 o'clock. I would always have the lights on my car on because when I left work in the morning, it was fucking dark. When I come back home, it was dark. 7 days a week till I saved enough money to buy a block of land for 73 grand.
How old were you then?
18.
You did it at 18?
18 and a half.
Okay.
I bought a land for 73 because when I was doing constructions, I just observe and learn.
Yeah.
Like if I'm working for you, I was like, I want to learn how you do it, and I'm a curious person. And I was like, I can see these builders that were buying these lands and they were selling these houses for like $250,000. And I saw, okay, I can find a block of land for 73. The house that these builders are building it for developers, they cost like 110 grand. I can do all this for 180 and they're selling it for 250. Well, I'm going to do one. So I saved enough deposit to buy land for 73. I built a house for 101,000. I did my own landscaping, grass, or whatever I could. So all my cost was just under 175, and I sold it for just under 300,000. I made like 125 grand out of it.
At 18, you sold it at 18.
After 6 months after I built it, I lived in it for 6 months.
Yeah.
So probably age 19 then. I made 125 grand, and I probably saved 25 while I was building it. So I had 150 grand.
You sort of been around about 2000, yeah. 25 years ago.
2000, yeah.
I mean, 120 grand in 2000 would have been a lot of money.
I thought I was Bill Gates. And when we finished the house, I thought the house was worth 250 grand, but we sold it for 295. I said to Giselle then, I said, can you believe we own $250,000 fucking home? I was like, there's so much money. I will never forget me telling her that, like, oh my God. And then after that, I bought a block of land for 150, built a house for 200, sold it for 600, made 240, 50 grand out of it. Then I built 2, then I built 4, then 10, and journey started. And age 45, I do now massive land subdivisions. I do a few luxury homes and stuff. I mainly do that because my brother is a builder, works for me. I like to keep him busy, so my family is occupied.
Yeah.
But I do now from land subdivisions to luxury homes to and I do a lot of flipping now. I buy shit, fucking 14-day settlement, and on sell it 2 months later, or 3 months later. I buy, because I build enough muscle that I can buy shit fast and settle fast.
Yeah.
And so...
When did you get into real estate? So you were
8 years ago. 8 years ago, I started real estate business. And reason why
not when you were doing all the developing, back in your 20s.
No, never. Only reason why I started real estate 8 years ago, because I was employing real estate agents to sell my stuff.
Yeah.
And 8 years ago, I was so fucking pissed off at agents. Agents being scum of the fucking earth, most of them, and talking bullshit.
You're not that bad, mate.
Fuck, you know. But most agents will sell their left testicle for the fucking commission.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about buyer or seller. That's the fucking fact. There are good ones out there, like any industry, but most agents, I was like, but that's okay. Agents bullshitting, I can see through them.
Yeah.
That part was okay. What was really annoying me, agents not moving ahead with time. It's like when we started, people not using social media, but everybody was using it.
They weren't keeping with the times.
No, they were not keeping with the times.
Okay, makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? Like agents that were using realestate.com, which is fantastic even today, but realestate.com, you as a buyer have to go on realestate.com, search for fucking suburb, house, blah, blah. But on fucking Instagram, Facebook, you know, and so many platforms out there, you can create ads, chase fucking buyers, be proactive instead of sitting on your ass waiting for them to go on realestate.com. I said to Giselle, fuck this. And second thing that I was is annoyed, every time I built a home, agents would come to me, they would say, Emil, your house is worth, I don't know, let's say $1.5 million because 10 other houses sold for $1.5 million. And I was like, that's not true because every house costs different dollars per square meter. Do you know what I mean? Like I got $1 million worth of fucking crazy paper around my house.
Yeah.
You can put tiles, cheap ones from fucking China for 80 grand.
Yeah.
You know, I got about 1,300 square meters of fucking crazy paved, you know, cost over $200 a square meter to buy, plus fucking labor on top. Yeah. You know, so you can't say
just
every house, same size.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck it, I'm going to start my own agency to sell my own stuff. And then I thought to myself, there's a gap in the market. Agents are not moving ahead with times. I said, fuck it, I'm going to start real estate agency. And then I said to Giselle, I want to lead by example. So I want to sell real estate myself. And I opened real estate office and I never sold real estate.
That's what I was just about to ask you. So you never sold for anyone else?
Never. But
really?
I know fucking people.
Yeah.
Real estate people make mistake. They think I need to know everything about real estate. You need to know people. And I said, I'm going to sell real estate straight away. In the first 12 months, I made $1,670,000 in commission.
In the first year?
First 12 months.
Never sold before?
Never sold before. And people says, how did you do that? You don't understand the market. You don't know value of somebody's home. None of that. How did you do that? I said, I'm going to teach you now in 2 minutes. And this is how I did it. And this is how anybody can do it on the first fucking day starting real estate. Main hardest thing is picking up the phone and fucking calling 2,000 people so one person can tell you, you know what, I want to sell my house, come and see me. So first thing that I did, I called probably 1,000 people. And 950 people, when you call them, they tell you to go and fuck yourself. I was like, okay, the amount of time I fuck myself, Jesus, I never have to fuck again. So with me, I called one guy. His land was on the market for 5 years.
Whoa.
Clearly overpriced or whatever the fuck it is. If something's on the market for 5 years, there's got to be something wrong with it. And when I called him, I was like, I just need to get into market. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to cold call people, I need to be different because every agent cold calls people. They'd be like, hi, mate, how you going? Would you like to sell your home? Blah, blah. I was like, I'm going to call these people with zero facts given. His name was Darren, and I can tell you exactly what I sold it, how I sold it, and so on. This is advice to anybody that's in real estate too, by the way. He answered the phone. I didn't say, hi, this is Emil from NG Real Estate. He answered the phone. I said, Darren! I yelled, As soon as I said that, he thinks like, oh, somebody knows me. He said, yes, who is this? I said, Darren, it's Emil Juresic here. Darren, I'll go straight to the point. Your land has been on the market for 5 fucking years. And I'm literally swearing. For 5 fucking years. Clearly, if your real estate agent was good enough, property would be sold. And clearly, there's a good chance that you spoke to 250 fucking agents calling you, telling you why they're the ones that fucking, they're the right people to sell your land, blah, blah. Darren, I'm going to see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock in your home. I want to fucking sell your land. He said, actually, I'm busy. I said, I'll see you at 11 o'clock. Hang up the phone. Didn't tell him, nothing. Didn't give him a chance.
Didn't give him a chance.
Straight away, I went to his house, knocking on the door the next day, 11 o'clock. Guy opens the door. Darren, how you going? It's Emil Juresic here. We spoke yesterday. Thank you so much for seeing me. And I just started walking to the house. Like fucking trespassing. I need to be fucking different. We sit, and as soon as I walked in, we sit there. I said, Darren, it's been on the market for 5 years. This is how I think I can fucking sell it. And he said, I'm going to stop you right there. I like your approach. I'm thinking about selling my own home. The second he said that, I said, I'm going to stop you there. The home that I just walked in, because the land was in 5 suburbs around it. I said, I'm going to stop you there, Darren. How about you show me this home for 5 minutes before we sit and talk? He said, okay. We got up, started walking. Reason why I did that, because in that 5 minutes, I wanted to get to know Darren. We're walking there. He's got a yellow Corvette. It's like, you know what? Love that car. I loved it. That is the color I would get. Have you seen the fucking movie? Like, I just think I made it up, like Miami Vice or something. Have you seen the fucking red Corvette there or yellow Corvette? Yeah. I love that car, Then I'm walking to the house, and he's got a man cave. I was like, you know what? Every buyer would love that couch. He said, you know what? I told my wife, that couch is fucking amazing. She didn't like it. I said, I understand where she's coming from, but also guys do make decisions too. Every husband is going to be excited about that, while the ladies might like the master bedroom, walking robe, or whatever it is. He said, thank you, Emil. I was complimenting him for 10 minutes. I saw Broncos jersey. I was like, did you just watch that last fucking game? How the fuck did he knock him out? Like, oh my God, Emil, I've watched every single game. Yeah, man, last 2 games, Harvey lost, Harvey won, I mean? So by the time I sit with him.
You've already got it.
Okay, before we did this podcast, me and you, we walked, we fucked around with the cars, blah, blah. I feel like, okay, I can be relaxed around you. I don't have to be, do you know what I'm like? I feel like for 10 minutes, walking around the house, we got to know each other.
100%.
And you're not even selling my fucking house. So by the time we sit, I knew him.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, Emil, so what do you think my house is worth? I have no fucking idea. I didn't tell him that.
Yeah. I thought you said that. That's why I was like, fuck.
No, but I did say this. I said, Darren, let's do this properly. We can do this the right way, or I can bullshit to you. I can tell you whatever you want to fucking hear, because your home might be worth $1.5 million. There's 3 prices here. Price that you want, price that buyer is willing to pay, and price we're going to get. Now, if you want 1.5, for example, I can say, I'm going to get you $2.5 million. But the guy after me tells you, I'm going to get you $3 million. I can tell you whatever you want to hear. Once you sign that fucking Form 6, giving me authority to sell your home, I can come to you in 7 days and I can say, buyers they don't like this, they don't like that. Market has changed. I'm going to tell you this. I don't care about that. I'm focused on marketing strategy, getting right buyers through your home, getting offers on the table. And that's it. So I like this strategy, Emil. Let's focus on marketing it. And I said, I don't want to put a price on it, because if I put a price on it, I'm putting a limit to what I can get. He signed the paperwork. He wanted $1.4 million. And then I was a fucking madman. I fucking marketed the fuck out of that house like a crazy man. First offer, I had 1.6. What do you think most agents will do?
Get him to take it.
I got 1.6. He said, oh my God, Emil. And the house was number 37 Northbrook Road, Cinnamon Park. You can literally fucking find this on IP data. And I said to him, you're not taking it. And I got one buyer. I had 10 people to the house. I got one offer. I said, you're not taking it. He said, why? I said, I already have this on the contract. I'm going to see if I can get more. If he tells me to fuck off, I got 1.6 in my hand. So I called the guy on the phone. Over the phone, straight away I got into 1.8 million. And I straight away went to Sunnybank McDonald's all the way from Cinnamon Park, fucking 30 kilometers. In McDonald's, I met him. He gave me $1.8 million. I went straight back, same, and that there was no DocuSign, or not being used DocuSign then, it was all physical. So I drove back to his house in Cinnamon Park. I go 1.8. He said, I'm signing it. I said, no, you're not. So I called Rocky, his name was the buyer, became a good client later as well. And I said, Rocky, I'm going to come and see you. He said, what? They didn't take 1.8 million? I said, I'm going to come and see you. He said, come to McDonald's again. Back in the car, go to McDonald's. I said, Rocky, I got few buyers that are buying this home. I got few buyers that are buying it. I got few offers. I can't tell you what your offer is. I need you to sign forms. So there's multiple offers and blah, blah. Anyway, what do I need to get to own this home? I said, you need to start with two. So I'll give you $2 million. I went back to them, 10:30. I got 2 million cash, unconditional contract, 30 days. And they said, Emil, we're taking it. I said, before you do, I'm going to make a call. I called Rocky. I said, Rocky, thank you for your offer. I just have one question for you. Is there any more money you're willing to pay for this home? And I shut the fuck up. He said, not tonight, Emil. I said, okay, Rocky. I hang up the phone. I said, you're not signing it. He said, we'll be signing it. I said, he said, not tonight. Tomorrow morning, I called him. I said, Rocky, I need to see you again. I go to McDonald's. I see him again in McDonald's.
Marcus is getting a lot of business.
I see him in
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Yeah. And at that time, there was a coffee for like $1.50, nice fucking $5.50. And I saw him there and I said to him, Rocky, 2 million might get it and you might miss out in the next 1 hour. I said, Emil, I can't play your games anymore. What to buy? I said, give me $2,088,888 and property would be yours. He gave me that. I went to sellers. I closed the deal. They couldn't believe it. The property was probably worth 1.5 million, no more. But I pushed because I know how do I push? I'm going to fucking get an amazing client. And I got fucking something to leverage. Imagine I got a car dealership and your Lambo is worth, I don't know, 800 grand and I sell it for 1.2 million. I was like, I like this motherfucker. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then first thing I did when I sold it for fuck off price, Suburb Record, straight away, media. Hey, I just sold the house for the Suburb Record. Every media fucking journalist that existed everywhere, send a message, Facebook, Instagram, everything, house came in the media. Then leverage, and then did fucking thousands of flies and leveraged and went from there. And then I said, for me to grow real estate business, I need to become a fucking rock star myself. First 12 months, I didn't really want to grow. I wanted to establish myself. And people used to make fun of us from the crazy video and marketing we were doing. I was like, man, first they make fun of you. Then they watch what you do. And then they want to fucking become you. And now that stage. And then, we moved and now we got 12 offices. So, so I don't sell real estate anymore. The team does. But for 8 years, I fucking outwork all my competition. I was like, I'll see my competitors. Like, you start at 9 o'clock, I start at 5. You finish 6 o'clock, I finish at 10.
I love that, man. That's crazy, mate. That story
I'll
is wild.
outwork you. You know what I mean? Like, I outwork you.
Yeah.
You think you work hard? I was like, fuck you. Go and fuck yourself. I'll fucking destroy your work ethic. This is how you work.
What do you reckon that came from? Like, is it just exactly everything we were talking about at the very start?
Well, it's a fucking simple thing is, if you want to be in business, well, might as well be in it. What the fuck is the point dragging shit or doing slow? I was like, man, I love business and I want to be the fucking best. When you're in it, you're fucking in it.
Yeah.
Like, might as well fucking give it a good shot. I was like, what the fuck is the point? What is the point? You're in it. You either fight the battle and try to be the best. But then again, some people, they might start one office, have one real estate office, and they might make 1.5 million. I was like, great. But with me, I always look, I'm opportunist. So now we have law firm, finance company, real estate offices, heavily in property development, heavily in stock market. Then Simon Beat and myself, we got a couple of things on the go together.
Yeah.
And I just look for opportunities.
I love that, man. I love that. Fuck, it's such a crazy story. That first sale, and obviously what it built off the back of it as well. So you got him like almost 700 grand over, like that. Almost what that's worth right there over market value. What he wanted.
But I tell you this, I never had fear. I never had fear. A friend of mine said the other day, what would you do in 2025 if you really had a zero fucking fear? What would you do? Because every time you want to do something is like, oh, fuck, too hard, too risky, or whatever, what I mean? It's like, what would you do if you had zero fucking fear? What would two of us do? And that's how I live my life. Like, I never wanted to be that 85 years old person sitting on some fucking bench thinking, I wish I did things differently. Well, fuck wishing. Do.
So just whatever you see in front of you that makes sense, just regardless of risk, you take it on. Calculated risk.
Like if you tell me, Emil, let's build a fucking rocket and compete with Elon Musk, I would be, buddy, I like taking risks, but I'm just, I don't think I'll find joy and I'm not smart enough to put fucking shit like that off. But stuff that I know that is within my understanding, and I look for 70% positive because nothing will ever be 100% perfect, right? So, not something 70% it'll work, I'm fucking going for it because if you wait for 100%, it might be too late.
It'll never come, one or the other. You build, it's all bolt-ons, right? Like I look at the businesses you build on the side of NGU and the beast that is. It's almost all bolt-ons.
Yeah, everything. Now,
they complement it, right? It makes sense.
But now we got over 400 staff, and
I mean that in a good way, by the way.
No. I leverage. Like when you have real estate company, it makes sense to open a finance company, or everything is leverage. And I became better property developer by having real estate companies, because now I understand what buyers want. I never build what I like. Who gives a fuck what I like? Because I'm not going to buy my own product. What I like is in my home, and I build whatever the fuck I want, and like it or not. But in development, I learned. So everything complements. You're right. But now we're at the stage where we have a family office. Now we invest in things that are not related to NGU.
Yeah, beautiful. Man, I love it. If I take it back one step before we keep going past the real estate career and the business, everything you built there, one thing that I hope you don't mind me touching on as well is the period you went through when you went bankrupt as well, right? I would love just to touch on the lessons that you went through with it. And that was obviously development, right?
When you lose in construction and development, see, I've worked so hard from age 15 till age 30.
Yep.
And then started just developing my own stuff. But then I started building for other people. So if I'm building a house for you, if I put a concrete slab on the ground, I have to put concrete slab, then I send you invoice. If I put a concrete slab and you go bankrupt yourself, and you can't pay me,
you can't sell a concrete slab.
So what am I going to pick it up and sell it to the next door neighbor?
Yeah.
But I got bills to pay, contractors, concrete, and fucking so on, right? My weakness as my young businessman, 95% of my work was for one company, and that company went bust. They dragged me with them. And
how many builds did you have on the go?
Probably 15. Not too many, but they were larger builds.
Yeah.
Larger builds, maybe $10 million or so.
A build?
No, together.
Combined.
But that was 15 years ago. It's like fucking 25 now.
True.
And then, losing everything. And by the way, when you build something in 6 months and you lose it, like who gives a fuck? But when you work for 15 fucking years and you lose it.
And you've worked like a dog. It's not just you've worked like a dog.
Didn't know anything better. So when I lost everything, 3 options. 1, buy a fucking rope, big tree, hang yourself. 2, stay on ground and just keep blaming everyone. Or 3, look at yourself in the mirror and say everything that has happened to you, it's your fault. If somebody fucks you, somebody screws you over, it's not their fault. It's your weakness. You let them fucking screw you. You let them fucking screw you, buddy. You let them fucking screw you. Your weakness. So I looked at myself in the mirror, said everything that happened to you, it's your fault. I need to use knowledge that I gained throughout my young business life for better tomorrow. Use it as advantage. Let's start again. And that's when NGU was born. And when you want to start again, age 30, banks don't want to look at you. Nobody, all the fucking friends you had, not 95% disappeared. 200% of them disappeared. They don't exist. Everybody. And now they all, last 5 years, they're all coming back. And like, I was like, guys, can't you fucking scan? You can't really see fuck off on my forehead. I'll fucking write it again so you can see it. You know what I mean? I don't need friends for good times. I need friends to be there. And I never needed money from friends. You just need people to say, hey, buddy, are you okay? And I just went through tough fucking times. Head down, bum up. Let's start fucking from scratch again and keep building on that.
Can I ask you, how was Giselle through that process as well? How old was Giselle?
Same age, 45.
Okay, sweet. So she was 30 as well when you guys lost everything?
Correct.
Okay. How was she during that process?
Well, from having nice cars, nice homes, she went to temp, work as a receptionist somewhere else, and I went back on fucking tools.
Okay.
So, like, to the point where, from having a nice home and nice cars and stuff for 15 years, going back to that petrol station, I'm on a petrol, put $18 in my brother's card because I even lost my car. And I said, I don't have $18. Can you transfer me? She said, I don't have it. That time, it's like, that's a wake the fuck up call. Now, I was like, oh, never fucking touch food when I go to this space again. So the biggest thing is every billionaire in the world went bust once or twice or 5 times. Like, I'm not sure if you heard of Albo's fella. If you didn't, there's one fucking guy you got to interview. Okay. One guy. Yeah. Remind me after this interview to give his details. He'll do it. That you think my story is inspiring, motivating, whatever. Him, he came from Iran. He's 38 years old now, I think. He failed 17 times. Imagine you trying a business and you go bust 17 times. I mean, I fucking failed what I would call it once. Imagine 17 times. Like, how much more do you want to fucking try? You just fucked, right? 18th time, he started a company called Car Advice.
Go.
Built it, sold it for $63 million.
Not bad.
I spent last Friday night with him. We were cruising around the city at 9 o'clock at night time while the fucking storm was out there. And then now he started a company called Car Expert and he's worth a few $100 million. And he's
38.
38.
And he failed 17 times.
17 times.
That's crazy.
So I had him, next week we got 3-day summit on the Gold Coast Summit and myself, and he's one of my speakers. And he spoke a few times on my events. And I always give him shit. I was like, you know what? Every time I think of myself failing once, I just think of my mate fucking Albos. Motherfucker failed 17. But when you hit the wall, and if you deeper you go into the business, you're gonna be tested. And it comes down to how much strength you have within yourself to fucking get up. It's not fucking easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. But that's when you get tested. And Giselle and myself, we just, we're alive, we're breathing. We learned a lot. Let's fucking start again.
That's crazy, man. What would be if you were to pick one lesson out of that window of what you learned during that time frame?
I would like to put things into one, but I can't. There's 101, like trust fucking few people. For somebody to fuck me now, you better be good. Trust few. So look, to be honest, life is a journey. And I mean, like, what lesson can I pick? I mean, what can I tell myself to do things differently? Nothing. Every fuck up I did, I'm glad. Because all the hard times, good times, everything, I love myself now as a human. I know I'm a good person. I love where I am business-wise in every possible way. And all of those things that happened to me made me who I am today. So lesson-wise, looking back, one thing I can say, I'm glad I gave it a go but I'm glad I fucking found the strength within me to keep going again. And one guy said to me, Emil, if somebody cuts your hands and legs off, you will still find it within you to keep fucking moving forward. And I fucking would.
Yeah.
So, learning something, one thing that I said at the beginning of this conversation, the one that can handle the most pressure is the one that's going to go fucking furthest. Yeah. With me, the lessons is just, how you do things, how you calculate things, it's when you're in your 20s, you want to do every deal. You want to do every opportunity. Now, 20 opportunities get presented in front of me. If I miss all fucking 20, there'll be another one tomorrow. There's no need to put that much pressure on yourself to grow. You grow how you see fit when you feel you're ready to pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah.
Don't go to war without fucking being prepared. And unfortunately, when you're in your 20s, you're running like a fucking soldier that don't know where the fuck he's going, but you're ready to fight. So you gotta be, it's lesson wise, it's, there's biggest thing that I would say in the past and where most people fuck up, and you probably did it as well. All of us do. I wasn't present half of my journey, because when you're young, when you're just running like a fucking madman, a year would pass. And if you think to yourself, where the fuck did this year go? Just be present every day while you're hustling. Don't focus too much on the end result. Oh my God, I can't wait till I have an amazing home and a few Lambos behind my back.
Yep.
Focus on that journey between zero and you getting to that point. Because now when I have it, I can take this drive, whatever is there. But that journey, that takes years. Now I can just sit in it. But that takes 5, 10, 20, 30 years. So that fucking journey.
Man, I think that one of the hugest things, there's two things here that are kind of coming to mind for me. Everything, exactly as you said before, everything you've gone through now has built the man that you are. And exactly what you're saying, you wouldn't change anything, even though you had some crazy fucking times and you lost everything at 30. But it's all built who you are now, you know what I mean? Which is set the tempo for it. And I think the other really crazy thing, there's almost like no one that's gotten to that level that hasn't been through so much shit. You know what I mean? Like you have to go through the school of hard knocks. Otherwise you're not almost like risking enough, you know what I mean? To get to that point, to learn enough, to have gone through enough. So that's what I'm kind of hearing a lot of it. Like you pushed yourself so hard and then you figured all these different ways out. All right, you had a couple of falls and all the rest of this sort of stuff. But then what you've built now and then built off the back of it, even seeing the gap in what other people couldn't do and then coming to market and changing it. Man, it's huge.
And look, to be honest, it's all part of the journey, man. Yeah. Because life itself is, we don't know what the fuck is going to happen tomorrow. We try to get prepared for what's going to happen tomorrow, but what's around the fucking corner? And we had a discussion, on this podcast about AI. Will that affect real estate? Will affect?
Yeah.
Big question mark. You almost have to be like a soldier in a front line with a fucking gun in your head. Just open eyes. You see enemy, pull the trigger. And that's fucking business at the moment. You gotta really open your fucking eyes and mind and like, what the fuck is happening? So I'm not left behind and I don't become a dinosaur.
Can I ask you something? With NGU, obviously when you were at the helm, right? Which you still are at the helm, but when you were at the helm of selling, your passion, your energy, your drive, and all the rest of it, when you're sitting across from sellers before they listen, and buyers, and getting them up, how have you found the transition between doing that yourself
and getting others?
Yep.
I was very good at finding young guys that are fucking broke past, fucked up past, broken heart, just hungry as a motherfucker. These guys will want to fucking eat your face.
Yeah.
I was looking for hungry ones.
Is that what you always look for?
Always fucking hunger. Yeah. Right now, I can just name people after people. Jason Yang came to me 3 years ago. Yeah, Last 12 months, he made $3,970,000 gross commission. This year he's going to hit 7-8 million. Moses.
How old is he?
26. 26. I can say another one. Moses. Moses came to me 3 years ago. Now he writes over $2 million. I'll read you this.
Okay.
I'll get you to read it. I'll get you to read it. This will be Robbie. Okay. You can read this yourself. Okay. Robbie sent this message to me and Steve that works with me.
Yeah.
You can read it.
All right.
You can read it out loud.
Morning, lads. Just wanting to message you guys to say thank you. My house settled yesterday. This isn't a big noting text, but you guys have been with me from the start. 4.5 years ago, I had 16K in the bank and was fighting with everything I had to keep my head above water. And you lads stuck by me. I'll be forever grateful for your support. Love you guys. $2.178 million
in his bank account.
Mate, that's crazy.
So to me, is in a business, first of all.
How old's that kid?
Robbie would be 29, 30 years old. And I got this on Tuesday, 28th of Jan. 28th of Jan.
Yeah, so that's yesterday, literally recorded on the 29th.
And first of all, when you're starting, you're building yourself into a brand.
Yeah.
And then there's a second stage. You build others as a leader. That's when a true leadership comes. Robbie Witt 4 years ago had no money, over $2 million in his fucking bank account, almost 2.2.
Crazy.
Matt Hawken came to me 4 years ago. He was making 100 grand a year, makes 1.7 million now. And people can Google Matt Hawken and you can see it. 1.7 million now. Siva Thanatis came to us 7 years ago. Billy had no money. He's building now $8 million house around the corner. And
he's an Ipswich agent, yeah?
Yes.
I remember him when we used to buy there.
He makes over $2 million. Charles Kamali worked in McDonald's 4 years ago. He came to us when he was 20 years old. Age 24, makes about $1.8 million. Owns about $4 million worth of properties, bunch of cars. John Kalachik came to us 3 years ago. He was a cabinet maker, makes $1.5 million. Laney came to us 2 years ago, makes over $1 million and all from zero. Leo came from another agency making 75 grand a year. Within first 12 months with us, he made over $1 million, now makes constantly $2.5 million.
And he was making 100 grand with a different agency.
75 grand. Leo. Just Google fucking search. All this is online. Jason worked for another agency 3 years ago, made 110 grand. First year with us, he made $1 million. Second year, $2 million. Third year, just finished it. 3,960,000.
So what are you doing to take these guys from 75, 110 to fucking 2 million plus?
You need to discover talent in others, encourage them, push them, train them, by yourself and with the best out there. You know what I mean?
So you're finding the ones with the dog in them, but then you're training them the right way.
And they said, Emil, I said, guys, let's set the goals and get them 12 months goal, but let's sit and talk every single month and see how you're traveling to achieve it. Hey, Emil, my goal is to hit $1 million. They hit $1 million, it's 2 million. So you fucking said $1 million. I said, yes.
You already
did $1 million here, but your 2 million, your talent is up here.
Yeah.
Let's chase your talent. They hit 2 million. I was like, not good enough. Jason, he almost was like, not being fair. He told me 2 million. I'm age 25. Not good enough. Target is 3. He hit fucking 3,970,000. This morning in my office, I said, next 12 months, this calendar year, target is 8 million. Is he really not being fair? I said, he said that 4 fucking times. I'm never fair. Are you here? Your talent is here. Let's push. Create a strategy around it. Build your fucking team. This is where you're lacking. This is where we need to fucking fix. But for 8 years, I was leading by example. For 8 years, nobody at NGU out of 10 plus offices sold more than me. So I was like, I'm never going to be a general that's running the fucking war zone from New York. Yeah. I am like, have you seen that movie Braveheart?
Yeah, of course.
One of my favorite fucking movies.
Me too, man. Me too.
One of my favorite movies. Freedom! Fucking first one in. Soldiers follow.
Yeah.
That's what I did. Now I've created my fucking soldiers that other one is to follow and we keep growing.
That's mad, man. I love that. So you find the dog and then you show them how to
I don't want just the smartest it's like find good humans that are hungry like a motherfucker and train them, encourage them, push them, and get them to see what they don't see in themselves. Because we all put a limit on ourselves.
100%.
Let's just push that limit a little bit harder.
Man, you know what I've always found is when I used to set targets for myself, I used to say, what I think I'll go $1 million, $2 million, whatever, right? And then whatever I set, I always seem to hit. So it was like a couple of years ago, like, you know what? I'm just going to set a fucking crazy goal. And then I'm going to, exactly what you touched on a second ago there, was you map out a plan in terms of how to hit it, right? Reverse engineering that plan, set the crazy goal, reverse engineer it, thank you.
And check it. Exactly. And test it.
Regular testings. Exactly, right? And I think, man, this is where so many people miss. They go, oh yeah, sweet, well, I want to set a $10 million goal, but then they don't have any game plan. They're just like, oh yeah, I wrote 10 mil on the board. But if you don't set the game plan on how to hit it.
But also you got to be realistic. Like last year in March, Simon I said to Simon, okay, I'm going to get a goal. I'm going to go, Simon Beard, I'm going to go with you to New York and run a New York marathon, which was like in 3 months at that time.
Yeah.
45 kilometers or 44, whatever the fuck it is. That's unrealistic because I couldn't fucking run 100 meters. Like, get the fuck out of here. You got to train for 12 months, start with 500 meters, kilometer, 2, 3 or whatever. You got to train. So, you know, got to be realistic. It's good to aim high, but you got to be realistic and create a game plan to see that that's possible.
Yeah. But if you put the right game plan in there and then apply the right work ethic and actually execute on it, so much is possible.
But you got to work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just a dreamer. How many people dream of owning that Lambo?
Yeah.
Most people will never sit in it, not alone own it.
It's the execution, man. It's the hard work and the execution.
And it's not fucking easy. You know, you're talking about 1 million, 2 million that you did. Like, was that easy? Nothing is easy.
Fuck no.
But got to be done.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I love it. The culture within the business,
Everything.
because it's so big now, right? How many people are within NGU?
All of our companies, there's over 400 people.
Holy shit.
Over 400 people.
How do you maintain the culture of a 400-man staff?
A lot easier than having 10.
Really?
And the systems are a lot easier. Yeah. The company is big enough, but I am first of all, every person that I used to interview in others interview, we sit and from day one say to them, John or Stephanie, let me break something very easily for you. 80% of your day while you're alive, when you're sleeping, you're fucking dead. 80% of your day while you're alive is about work. Yeah. And let me break it to you. In the morning, you wake up, you're getting ready to go to work. Half an hour in fucking shower, washing your face, getting ready, ironing your shirt or whatever, getting ready to go to work. Then you spend half an hour to 1 hour driving to work. Then you work from fucking 8 o'clock, 8:30 to 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then you spend another 30 minutes to 1 hour driving fucking home to get home at 7 o'clock. And then you're awake maximum for 2 hours before you're dead again when you're sleeping. So while you're fucking alive, 80% of your day is about work. Do not be here and wait for you to hit 6 o'clock to run. I need you to live and breathe and love it here. Otherwise, you're wasting 80% of your fucking time. You need to love it here. Otherwise, get the fuck out before you start. Embrace that. Because if you have 10 people, 11th person come with full of energy, it's just going to compliment. You get one miserable fuck, drags everybody. With us, second, and we teach people for everybody to feel that soon as somebody comes in, doesn't fit in with the culture, even if you're number one agent in the country, you're a dick, you don't fit in with the culture, there's a door.
So no dickhead policy, right?
Zero.
Yeah.
I like coming to my office. If I'm going to come to my office and think, oh my God, that guy's a dick, I don't want to be in that office myself.
I love that. I love that. So you reckon it's easier at 400? You know what's funny, reflecting on this, I got just under 50 staff myself, right?
A lot. Because you're responsible for 50 families.
And I honestly reckon when I had 8 to 10, it was harder. Just like, I don't know. It's like when you have that bigger team, everyone buys in. If everyone's got the buy-in and you're hiring correctly, I think it's a big thing.
Also why it was harder, 8, 10 staff.
Yeah.
Friend of mine, Theo, you should also interview. He's got fucking 1,000 plus staff. He said, Emil, when I was starting my business, nobody was teaching me, nobody told me how to manage people.
Yeah.
So when you're starting,
you shit.
You don't know how to manage yourself.
Yeah.
And then you have 8, 10 employees that come into your door asking for questions like, do you guys think I'm Jesus? I don't fucking know I know what the fuck I'm doing half of the times and you're asking me to solve your problem? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So it's
growing pains,
it's growing, man, and we don't know what we're doing. We need 8, 10 and now like, I have employed hundreds of people, so now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I love that, man. I love that. It makes so much sense as well. And I think even the hiring process, it comes down to, it almost becomes an art form of knowing who not to hire, which is more important, right? The most important.
And it's okay to make mistake. People, they think, oh my God, I've been in business for 25 years and they don't want to admit that they hired the wrong person. Let's just keep that person because I hired him. Man, you make mistakes too. I'm 45. I've been in business all my fucking life. And I hire somebody if they're shit. So let them go and don't like, I'm going to keep them because I don't want anybody to think that I'm hiring bad and I own the business. Like, don't be a dick.
Cut them, get rid of them, move on.
Move on.
Man, I got a question for you around this. And this one's going to, I don't even know if I should bother asking anymore, but I was going to ask you, I had a little note scribbled down here, hard days, rough days, dark days.
Yes.
In the business these days, right? So obviously
Yes.
you had some bad ones before.
Yes.
What does Emil Juresic do these days with a hard day when things pop up, dark days? You know what I mean?
Yes. So I break it down in very simple.
Okay.
I always say we got two brains. One brain that says, oh my God, everything is dark. I don't want to wake up in the morning, got to deal with this shit. I fucked up there. That's bad. Then straight away, my second brain takes over and straight away says to my first brain, go and fuck yourself. You dead today. I'm the fucking boss.
All right.
I take over. I really try not to let that happen. I'm human. We hit wall and this and that. But I was like, if there's a problem, whatever the fuck it is, it's not going to go away. I got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Got to deal with it. So if I'm negative, if I'm beaten, if I'm sad, it's not going to go. Might as well be fucking stand on my 2 feet, head up, deal with it, move the fuck on.
Okay. Stand up, face it, move on. I love it. I love it. Man, talk to me about One Life Club.
Best thing ever.
Best thing ever. Firstly, sorry, before you dive into that, you obviously partnered with Simon Beard on that 600 mil exit from Culture Kings and There's a Beast as well. Man, you were telling me the story before.
You got to interview with him. Amazing story and a great human.
I would love to. Man, if you wouldn't mind sharing the listeners the story of how you guys actually met as well. I did not think this was what it was.
Interesting thing is how everything started. The good thing about owning cars, you meet so many amazing people as well.
Very true.
And quite often you meet people that have a lot in common, because most people that buy $600,000 car or $1 million or $2 million car are people that are business owners.
Yep.
And naturally we have a lot in common because we all shoveling shit, dealing with the same problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Lamborghini Brisbane, they had delivery for 5 Lamborghinis. And Lamborghini organized this event that all 5 owners will pick them up at the same time. It was a good marketing for Lamborghini Brisbane, 5 owners picking up the same cars.
They were all Aventadors.
All Aventadors.
Okay.
5 Aventador Ultimates. And 3 stayed in Queensland and two were getting shipped to New South Wales. And only 1 Roadster, which is mine, convertible. And then all owners went there and I went there, I was there with Giselle and my brother, my sister-in-law and little kids and 20, 30 friends. And I didn't give a fuck about any other driver. I was just excited about my car.
Yeah.
Because I spec'd the car 2 years prior and I knew I picked up mad fucking colors, orange, special
that
orange
thing is
with
wild.
green, you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
And so I was excited. And there was a guy next to me. I really didn't look at him, didn't pay attention to him. And at the same time, Lamborghini Brisbane wanted us to take the cover of our cars. And I took all other ones, dark colors, like dark grays or black, mine only orange, stand out like balls. They took the cover and I looked at the guy next to me, which was Simon, didn't know what the fuck he was, didn't even know his name. And I looked at his rego, was Ultimate. My rego was Ultimate, but mine is spelled properly,
with
U-L-T. And he couldn't get L, so he got I, Ultimate, like U-I, that I looks like L. And I looked at his rego and I said, mate, you can't fucking spell. And he looked at me and he said, hey, mate, you the guy that's got that fucking rego, because he tried to get rego and he couldn't because I got it. But we spoke for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I was just excited about my car.
Yeah, of course.
Like, who are you? Your problem. I wanted to see my car. 4 weeks later, and that was 27th of October, 23, or 22. 4 weeks later, Lamborghini had some function, and 6 o'clock, I went to that function, and he came there, and 2 of us just clicked. We spoke for 2 hours, just shit, rubbish, whatever. We just clicked, exchanged the numbers, and I already started One Life Club. And 9th of February...
You'd already started it?
Yeah, already started.
Okay.
And 9th of February 2023, he sent me a message. He said, hey, this One Life Club is the money. I want to start the same thing. You're already doing it. Would you be interested for us to talk? We met on Monday over Zoom. Tuesday, we met at Sanctuary Cove. at George's, that seafood restaurant. We had fish and chips. Bill was $58. I fucking paid for it.
I thought you were about to say you met at Macca's out at
No.
with Rocco.
We both had fish and chips, and we both had soda water or sparkling water. That was Tuesday. Wednesday, he came to my office for 6 hours. We were, strategizing, shaking, and exchanging ideas. We shook hands on the deal that we agreed. On Thursday, I came and I interviewed him for my podcast. And Friday, we announced we're business partners without having anything signed.
Hectic.
On a handshake. And then we signed the contracts a month later, whatever. And
that's pretty big. Like you're both like big names, big business owners. Do a handshake agreement on a business
agreement
deal.
and announced it publicly that we're in the business together.
Hectic.
And we just shook hands. And then we were running with One Life Club for about 1 year, but from 1st February last year, we made it more exclusive.
Okay.
Now we made it's for only business owners that turn minimum $1 million per year.
Yeah.
And what One Life Club is all about is a community for business owners, entrepreneurs. In business, it's fucking lonely. We might have 50 staff. I might have 400. Some people got 4,000. End of the day, I'm in my office alone. End of the day, You're the same. So with One Life Club, it's a community where business owners can rely on each other and stay fucking relevant, not become a dinosaur tomorrow. So every member of our community, they have access to our own community portal like Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, but just for our members.
Really?
Where every day our members are troubleshooting. You might say, hey guys, I need, new marketing company. I want to start importing shit from China, whatever it is. Can somebody help? Everybody's jumping, troubleshooting every day or celebrating their wins. Plus every member's got access to every other member as well. So you can network with them, talk directly to them and so on, because you have our own directory there. So that community is so big. And then every Wednesday, including today at 12 o'clock, we have a live Zoom call. We call it Lunch and Learn, where Simon is live there, myself, and all other members. And we always pick a topic that's relevant to all of us to make sure we fucking stay relevant. So if the topic is how to get your business ready for sale, we have over fucking 70 members or 80 members who sold their businesses at least once that you can talk directly to. So we always pick a topic to make sure we stay relevant. That happens every Wednesday. Then every Thursday, we have another live Zoom call. And this Zoom call is with two right-hand man guys for advertising and marketing. These guys been with Simon for over 10 years. They spent a few $100 million of his money on advertising and marketing. They're there for members just to ask questions. Like you might have your own marketing company or external, and you can ask questions, what are you doing if he's right? Because these guys are expert. We're not a marketing company for anybody. They're just there for people to ask questions.
Interesting.
Then on top of that, we create advisory board for our members. Like if your turnover in your business is $20 million, we put you in a group of 7 people like yourself that have a similar turnover, completely different businesses, and you guys meet once a month over Zoom with a facilitator. Facilitator is my personal advisor or Simon Bede's personal advisor. And guys that helped us make our decisions. And purpose of you meeting your advisory board is made out of business fucking people, not people that are on the payroll like accountants and lawyers that tell you what you want to hear. This is people like you, business owners. Great place to pressure test any business decisions you need to make. You're discussing it with business owners that are like you in the fucking trenches. A great place to troubleshoot. Our members are loving that. Then on top of that, we have monthly meetup in each capital city. Our monthly meetups are health related. For example, Gold Coast or Brisbane, our members meet 7 o'clock in the morning. They start with ice bath, steam room, sauna, cryo, all the health benefits which are important for all of us, followed by networking breakfast. And then all the new members that become part of One Life Club, they have a dinner at my home once a month. Every month we have 60 people there minimum. And then we have a massive summit that happens every 4 or 5 months. And next week we got one on the Gold Coast for 3 days. Where 3 days we are strategizing with over 400 business people that have a turnover, some of them 2 million, 5, 10, 20, all the way up to $1-2 billion and everything between. Strategizing for 3 days, how we can do things better in our businesses and how can we stay fucking relevant. And the guest speakers that we have line up on another level. And there's no upselling. There's no courses. What the fuck am I going to sell a course to somebody who's worth 800 million? So it's just strategize. That's what our community is all about. And we love it. I got over 400 unbelievable people that I'm learning from every day.
Why did you start it? Is it for that so you could learn from other people as well? Like I'm just really curious.
No. Originally, when I started 2.5 years ago, I started because I never wanted to die without passing my personal knowledge to others.
Okay.
And that's how I started. And then I started interviewing a lot of people so they can share their knowledge. And then we made it really into fucking more structured platform that is great for others. Yeah. And now it's Simon and myself it's our biggest baby.
Yeah.
And IM is now slowly pushing it international. And
yeah, I love that, man. It's a great idea. Like honestly, it makes so much sense.
But we've also put tons of money to make it into reality.
Can I ask how many, if you hope you don't mind me asking this one, but how many business ventures have you potentially picked up off this as well? Like ideas, like good ideas come through the people maybe need partners or capital.
I started another 4 businesses by learning, opening my mind. Because you meet a lot of people. One person can tell you something that can change direction of your business, of your life for better.
Yeah, I love that.
So I learned a lot. And everybody's doing business with each other. Like even, guys are doing solo in my house in the next 2 weeks. They're One Life Club members. So people, the relationships that people are building. But then we have very tough process of who we let in. Because we got a team of people first send the application. Once they send the application, our team looks at that very carefully if they are right people. Then we have 2 guys that interview potential members, and then every person is going to be approved by Simon and myself if we let them in. We simply want good guys. Because in this world, there's a fucking enough assholes and we don't need another one.
That's true. It's not like you guys need it, right? Like you guys don't need the money from it. You need the right people.
We are passionate about. I mean, next week, imagine being in a room with 400 amazing business people. The energy there is another level.
There's 2 questions I want to ask you before I run through my normal ones that I finish with, right?
Yes.
They're around mindset. If I was to picture one person in my mind that has mastered the art of not giving a fuck, what's like Mark Manson, whatever, the subtle art. Yours is the not so subtle art of not giving a fuck. And I love that. Man, how would you describe how you do that? You know what I mean? You just don't care about other people's opinions in that way and build on that.
It's my fucking life.
Yeah.
I will take on board what good people have to say, and I'll take a good criticism so I can, but people that really got nothing constructive to say that will make me better person or better business person, people that just fucking hating, like, who the fuck are you for me to give you 30 seconds of my time, of my day to think about you?
Yeah.
You know my name, I don't know who the fuck you are, go and fuck yourself. So it's like, why would I give my energy to things that don't matter? What do I get out of it?
Yeah. So you just immediately disregard it if it's from people that don't even...
You're dead.
Right. Okay.
Dead.
Yeah.
Like you can't talk to dead people. They don't talk back.
They're dead to you. I love that. So that's the way you look at anything from that side.
No, I always want to, learn. If you tell me, hey, Emil, what you said, maybe it's not right, I'll look at it. But if somebody's just hating me because I'm doing, like other day, I'm driving my Lambo and guy drive past me and said, you fucking wanker. I'm driving 40 on 60. Like, okay, I'm a wanker. And you're a fucking genius because you said that.
Yeah.
Imagine how miserable fuck you have to be for you to call me a wanker because I'm driving a nice car. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to block the noise on the way up.
Simple way that I think you probably look at it as well. Like you've earned the right to it, so who gives a fuck about anyone's opinion, right?
It's if you're gonna be affected by what others say, quit before you start. Because there'll be a lot of noise around you for entire journey. And bigger you get, more people want to see you fail than succeed. So those people, they don't exist in your life.
I love that, man. Easiest way to deal with it, eh?
Why give them your time?
Yeah. Man, there's something I wanted to ask you as well. Something that you said as soon as I heard this podcast, I almost wanted to message you straight away, kind of asking you around this question. The podcast you did with Sam Elsher over on
Gold Coast.
Emil Uncut, yeah. And man, what you said really, really resonated with me. And you'd said it's very hard for anyone to compete with someone that's super aggressive or an animal in business. Can you go deeper on that?
I just know I want it more than anybody else. I fucking want it. I want it. I really, when I want something, I'm happy to die trying it. Like, are you fucking, if you're going to be my competitor, are you fucking ready to risk your fucking life? I'll die. Like, I'm all in. And I love the thrill of the fucking game, of the competition. And that's even when I used to play soccer, indoor soccer, you know, like I'm fucking winning. I love the thrill of winning. Yeah. So everything comes down to, you're going to be my competition or anybody's competition in business. I'm going to ask you this. How fucking bad do you want it? Just how bad? Yeah. Can you give me 30 years of your life to succeed? Pen says no, you're not my competition.
You're going to beat them. Yeah, 100%. I love that. And man, I think it's a funny thing too, because it's just pure passion, right? You can tell wherever you're talking, whatever you're talking about, you're passionate about everything you do, you're passionate about. Man.
I love living.
Yeah.
I love fucking living.
Yeah. Man, that's such an interesting way of looking at life. You know what I mean? Like that you love living. So like you've got a ridiculous life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I break it down to, I was like, man, you know what? This year is going to go fast.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a year older. Like I want to be present in moments. And whatever those moments are, building your business, be fucking present. If you're spending time with family, be present.
How do you master that, do you think? Because you know how there's so many people that they create what they've been chasing their whole lives, right? They create it, they build it, they're fucking worth 10, 20, 50 million, whatever it is. And then you hear so often that they become hollow, that they don't enjoy it, that like it's
and the question is, if you hit that point, how is it going for you? You got 50 million in miserable fuck.
Yeah.
Two options: keep being miserable fuck, or do something about it, because it's never too late to change things for better. Never. And look, we all keep learning. I wasn't always like this. You know, half of my life is just fucking work and you don't know where you are. Just working, and time goes past, and next thing is you're 35 years old. It's like, you gotta be present in the moments, man, whatever the fuck you're doing. If you're gonna interview somebody, if you're gonna spend 1, 2, 3 hours interviewing them, fuck, and if you can't enjoy that, cut the interview in 5 minutes. If I start interviewing you, and if you started talking to me today, and 5 minutes in, we're not, this is not going anywhere. It's like fucking boring. It's like, buddy, I'm going to cut it. Interview somebody else. I'm sorry. We've been talking 1 hour and 56 minutes. And I bet you $5 fucking this is your longest interview.
It's definitely up there.
You know what I mean? But if you're not...
I've only had one other that's longer than this, I'll be honest. There's only one other that's longer than this.
How much longer? So you can try to break it.
Oh, man, you don't want to. It was 3 hours, bro. It was a whopper.
I'm ordering pizza.
Make it a double. Make it a double.
The point is like, man, you're not enjoying something, like fuck, you know. Yeah. That never happened to me. Never cut podcasts with somebody, right? But I'm just trying to say that, man, do what feels right for you.
Yeah, I love that, man. And so would the advice be then, if someone is miserable, let's say they have gotten to a good spot or they've hit what they were chasing, maybe they got the Lambo or something like that, and they're not happy, it'd be assessing what's going on in life right now. What needs to change, right?
Well, the thing is, nothing stops you or me to have a conversation with ourselves. Look at yourself in the mirror. Doesn't fucking lie.
Yeah.
You look at yourself in the mirror and be honest. If you can be, mirror doesn't lie. Am I happy? Or you ask yourself, okay, am I a great real estate agent, for example? And you can say, yeah, I'm the best. No, you're not. You just made $24,000 last 12 months. That's shit. So if you can stay true to yourself, then answers are coming back from that fucking mirror. If the mirror tells you, a mirror tells you everything. Am I, a good partner? No, I fucking didn't. Or am I a good father? I don't have kids, but if I'm a good father and you didn't see your kids twice in 2 years, results are there. So as long as you can have honest conversation with yourself, answers will fucking come.
Yeah. I love that, man. Honestly, that's fucking powerful, dude. I like that. Man, I got a few finishing questions to punch on with if you're happy with. Man, what are you working on now?
Business-wise, few things. One, I'm really building a tight family office.
Okay.
My own family office. We are in a great financial positions that we are acting a lot as investors. So I'm investing a lot into different businesses, into stock market heavily, and I'm building a family office full of right advisors in it and right analysts in it that are analyzing every opportunity I want to fucking take.
Yeah.
So I can minimize my risk. So that's an exciting part for me. 2, always working, expanding NG real estate, and we got some amazing opportunity at national level. 3, expanding and pushing really, 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 really next fucking 5 years when I expand and push hard. We just started buyers agency. I think market is shifting a lot there.
You can taper out of that one, mate.
Huh? Fuck. You know what? I have a lot of friends that I can almost call them competitors. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I was like, as long as we do honest shit, I will never
of course.
say, hey, he's a fucking shit. They're bad agents, blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, good competitor. You beat me. I take my head off. What can I learn so I can kick your ass next time and everybody's happy?
Yeah. No, I'm not joking. I love it, man. I'm the same. I love competition. It makes you fight harder.
They're better people than me, and I'm trying to compete and so on. Another thing is really now we've just started our own finance company, starting from asset finance to mortgage broking and so on. So really gonna fucking push the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
Then we've got a few other ventures, with Simon and this is just so fucking business. What I'm working on, I'm gonna work on shit as long as it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I'm an opportunist, and while I'm enjoying stuff, I will always work on something, and I will never retire.
Yeah.
I think it's important that I'm always going to be active, that I always keep learning, and I keep surrounding myself with a lot older and wiser people than me. I've got a lot of friends that are 70 and 80 years old. They've been where I want to get, but also be close to people that are in the 20s that are more fucking faster at adopting things than I am, so I can be ahead with times as well.
Yeah. That's mad. Mate, if I look at the businesses you got now as well, like NGU is the golden goose. Like we're talking about with the bolt-ons, right? It's your baby that you've built into this beast, $3 billion plus, over the last 12 months. Man, what's the game plans for that? How big do you want to take this thing?
As big as I can
We're
get.
taking out Ray White's. We're taking out all the rest of it.
The thing is, I respect competitors like Ray White, great company, 1,000 offices, and every other company out there. We are very aware of what everybody else is doing, but we're so focused on our own beast.
Yeah.
And so to us, we want to build good, stronger offices instead of building 1,000 offices. We want to have maybe 60 or 70.
Yeah.
But next few years, going back to start of this conversation, will AI affect your company?
Sure.
My company? In 5 years? I think next 5 years, two of us will be probably sitting down sometimes over, coffee saying, fuck Emil, this shit is moving. How can we find the ways to adapt, change? Because we might be fucking out of business.
Yeah.
So next 5 years, I think is going to be very interesting to see if me and you, going to be in this business, or how we're going to be in it, or how we're going to be doing things. I think both of us, because we're in a similar business, right?
Yeah, of course.
Both of us will be fucking making a lot of changes. Otherwise, we might be dinosaurs.
Yeah, I hear. I like it, man. Mate, what was the best piece of advice you ever received from a coach or a mentor or anyone? Best piece of advice?
Never give up.
Who told you that?
My son like a dick here. I told myself that.
Okay.
I was
literally going to ask you, did you tell yourself that?
When I was on my bottom, when I had nothing left besides fucking me breathing. So, and it's what I live by. Never give up, because look at your journey. Was everything roses all your life?
Fuck no.
There was a times where you want to grab fucking 3 pillows and cry and make sure nobody sees you crying. That's just, but what got you through is just never give up attitude that you find and strength with yourself to fucking keep moving forward. Simple as that.
You just live by that, eh? Have you got that tattooed on yourself? I see you got tattoos.
Yes, this tattoo, it says non quam redono, which means never give up on Latin.
Beautiful.
So, and I'm not a big fan of tattoos. I just got 1, 2, and 2 on my back.
That's so funny, man.
I'm not a big fan of tattoos. I got them when I was in my 20s in like month's time, but I'm not a big fan.
But you live by it, right? And like that's the funny thing. When you live by it, I'm like, I don't know what you've got on you, but I'm like, I bet you've got that written on you somewhere.
It's literally right here. But it's just never give up, man.
It's so funny.
Because everybody gets tested.
Yeah, 100%.
Every human might be, not just business, whatever the fuck it is, we get fucking tested.
Yeah.
We get tested. We get fucking tested. It's just never give up. It's no human will go through life without being tested and when they are close to giving up.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely no one's living a meaningful life anyway. But that's the thing, but everyone at any point, at some point will get tested. It's going through it.
Multiple times.
100%. Mate, it's funny because the question I normally follow that up with is like, what would you tell 20-year-old Emil? That it seems like the answer.
First of all, when I think about 20 years old Emil, this 45 years old Emil, true thing, what I would do first.
Yeah.
This 45 years old Emil looking at 20 years old Emil. First thing this Emil would do to other 20 years old Emil, he would beat the fuck out of him. He would beat the fuck out of him till he's got fucking blue face, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more to life. Be present, love more, live more, enjoy the fucking journey. But the biggest thing is just fucking be present. Be present. Be present, man. It's and you know what? Open yourself, and actually, I'm enjoying your company.
Likewise, man.
I'm enjoying your company. But you know what's fucked? I have met you probably a few times. And I definitely remember maybe with some car drives, maybe in 2 years. When did you buy your F8?
No,
maybe a year ago?
we've never met.
I swear to God we met. I can bet my life on it.
I bought the F8 in December of 23. 1st of December 23.
Black.
Yes.
I have met you and could be, let me even fucking tell you where I met you. And I'm pretty sure I'm not far off. It was definitely a drive somewhere or meet somewhere on the Gold Coast. Could be culture, one of those drives or meetups somewhere in the Gold Coast. And I remember meeting you. I was like, you know what? Why didn't I fucking say hi and spend 5 minutes talking to the guy? Maybe I would actually met him 20 times more between then and today and to learn more.
Yeah.
So open yourself to fucking meet people, talk to them.
Opportunities.
You know what I mean? Opportunities, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure because... Reason why I specifically know, because I know every single fucking F8 Ferrari in Queensland. So I knew when you bought that car, and I knew of you, but I remember meeting you somewhere, but that could be for fucking 4 seconds or whatever, you know, how you going, mate, or hi, and the other cars were there.
Yeah.
But just going back to your questions, open yourself to meet people, new opportunities, learn. You know, because sometimes in your 20s, your ego is a little bit fucking bigger and you think you know everything, even you know fuck all. So, fuck.
Man, I love you say that because anyone listening to this in their 20s probably should do the biggest ego check that there is, especially if they're doing well.
Well, I said to you, first thing I would do is beat the fuck out of 20s older me.
Man, do you know what I think was probably the only lucky thing that ever happened to me in my life is that I didn't become as wealthy as I am now in my 20s.
Oh.
Because I probably would have fucked it.
If I had this money now, in my 20s, I would really be dead. Imagine me and you being 20 years old driving our cars. Dead.
Man, even at 29, I was sleeping on the floor in houses doing renovations. You know what I mean? I was still eating shit at 20. I was still doing it at like 30, 31. You know what I mean? It's only the last couple of years I've really stopped doing my renos to that extent from a cost versus return.
But imagine us having the cars that we have at age 21, 22.
Yeah.
Be dead by now.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We're gone.
Dead. We'll be chasing each other through the middle of the Brisbane city going fucking 320 kilometers an hour.
Roll it off the bridges, Do
you know what I mean? It's like, you know.
But I think it's lucky for me because I wholeheartedly, man, like I either would have fucked everying or I probably would have killed myself. Just the two, I would have gone, I was too crazy. You know what I mean? Like
so everything happens at the right age, man, right fucking time. But fuck, you know. We are experts at fucking shit up. So when you look at your, past, it's like, man, we make 1,000 mistakes, but it is what it is. Makes us better people today, and that's that.
Mistakes are just like lessons, learnings, right? As long as you take the lesson from a man, it's all part of it.
And you'll never stop making mistakes, but don't ever stop learning.
Yeah. Nah, that's awesome, man. I love it, mate. I love it. Man, I got one final thing for you, and I feel like I know what the answer can be, but I still want to ask you what it is. What's the most consistent character trait you witness out of the top 1% in sales, in business? You've saturated yourself with so many great people. What's the most consistent character trait that you've seen in the top 1% of performers?
We all can handle pressure. Fuck. You can employ people to do AI for you, marketing, advertising, blah, blah. You know, as a business owner, you can employ people to sell. You can employ anybody. But you all business owners, including yourself, we can handle pressure. The ones that can handle the most pressure is the one that's going to go furthest.
I love that, man. I love that. Pressure's it's a privilege, right? Pressure's a privilege.
If you can handle it, it's a fucking privilege. If you can't, it's a pressure.
That's it. But you got this, man. This is the thing. It's a privilege, bro, because you got to get through it. You know what I mean? Like if you can get through it, like the level that we're talking about right at the start of this thing about levels of wealth of everything, right? Everything in life is levels. Everything. And if you can get through those levels, man, like you get through different levels of pressure,
but
you just get better
also,
and better.
You keep educating yourself and keep getting stronger.
Yeah.
It's like if you go to gym and, if you want to bench press, I started when I was my personal trainer, I don't know, a month and a half ago with fucking 40 kilos and I'm dead. Keep practicing. I can handle now 60. So the next step is just like anything in life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to do things that you can handle. If you can't handle something, and business is not for everyone. If you can't handle pressure, you don't have to be in business. You can do other things that in life that can make you happy. Just chase what you love. Don't chase what you love or somebody else loves. And like quite often if I'm driving one of my supercars, and I'm sure this happened to you, younger kids, they would say, hey, what do you do for a living? I was like, who gives a fuck what I do for a living? Don't do what I do. It might not suit you. You might not like it. Do what you do. So
how do they take that?
They know what they're like. What? I was like, if I tell you, okay, real estate, and you don't like talking to people, like fuck, we got to figure out what you love. You know what I mean?
For sure. Nah, I love that, man. I love that. Mate, honestly, it's been an awesome ride, mate. We are, 2 hours and 10 minutes in, man. I've absolutely loved doing this podcast with you. Thank you, honestly, so much for your time,
We'll do it again so we can kick your mates out.
We'll go for the 3 hours. Yeah, 100%. I'll see what his edited version comes out.
Even if we just fucking have a 45-hour lunch in between where we don't talk or something. Nah.
Or we go in the cars, or we go for a burn in the cars or something.
Whatever we do, we can definitely. Somebody asked me the other day when I put exhaust on one of my cars. He said, Emil, can we do podcasts in that car? I said, buddy, I can't hear myself.
You won't hear it? We'll sit here yelling at each other. We can still barely hear each other.
And that car wasn't even revved down. But it's been seriously pleasure. And it's great to see you do amazing things for anybody that is running any kind of business, specifically real estate business. Because let's face it, you and everybody else and me, we have 2 million competitors. For you to stand out and do well, and you have few jobs. It's not just real estate. You also done property investing as well and doing it. So you like have multiple jobs as well. So great to see you doing well, and I was like, fucking keep smashing it.
No, mate, I appreciate it.
And keep buying nice cars. Keep supporting this economy.
Man.
So I'm not the only freaking idiot wasting money on cars. It makes me feel good.
The other thing that's coming as well, mate. So now I'm definitely putting a bit of money back in for the cars. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, man. You're a champion.
Awesome.
Mate, anyone that wants to follow Emil, go over, check him out. Emil Juresic on all the socials. You got the podcast, Emil Uncut.
Awesome.
It's correct. So yeah, go. There's some great stories on there. I've listened to some mad podcasts. Go listen to stuff.
And now you got no choice, but you're gonna have to agree not to be on my fucking podcast.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Maybe that time we'll break your record.
Well, then we'll go for it. We'll go for it, mate. Thank you so much, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure. Awesome.
If you're enjoying the podcast, please make sure you leave us a 5-star review. And if you're loving it, make sure you hit that follow or the subscribe button so you get hit every single time we drop a new episode. That's another Top 1% podcast.